Hello, Voices of Wrestling listener. Dave Ryan here. Have you ever wondered to yourself how many hidden gems are hidden away inside the last years of World Championship Wrestling? Have you ever asked yourself how many tenuous gags can be made about the name Mike Enos? And have you ever thought about what it sounds like for two Irishmen to interpret a very chaotic company through its B show? The answers to all this and more are just a click away. Check out Days of Thunder every second Thursday on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
Hey kids, do you like wrestling? Well, we like wrestling too. We are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. Myself and Chris Novembrino kind of doing a lazy river of wrestling criticism, going through the news and whatever happened in stateside television wrestling. And also, you know what? Sometimes we just like to watch old stuff and talk about that too. Love for you to give us a listen. If you haven't already, we are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
To Wrestling Omakase. It is episode number 260. So once again, as I mentioned last week, we're kind of doing a unique episode format for these 2 weeks, just so we can get through them while I'm doing some traveling. So last week it was because of my buddy Quinlan here, who's again joining me. Hello, Quinlan.
Hello.
is because of his Kevin Smith tickets, and I had stuff I had talked about that last week. This week we're going to Otakon, which is a big anime convention held every year in Washington D.C. So we're once again doing the format where I'm going to record each show as we go. We're going to do it a little different this time. Instead of doing the Stardom like one show at a time and the New Japan all at once together, we're just going to do New Japan and Stardom, G1 and 5-Star Grand Prix in chronological order. So I'm recording each day after the show happened, just to take my, take some of the recording I have to do, or make it more manageable throughout this really crazy packed week. So we're starting here on Tuesday with the New Japan G1 show, night 12, from August 5th from Intex Osaka Hall 5. I'm gonna get right into it just because I figure as we record throughout the convention, we probably end up talking about the convention and shit too, So that'll be the off-topic banter. But is there anything you're really looking forward to at this convention? Why is there another pro wrestling panel besides our pro wrestling panel? Who does that guy think he is?
And you said it's the same day?
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Oh yeah, and ours is Saturday. Well, it's probably the same guy that's done it the last 2 years, I'm guessing. But
oh yeah. So I was gonna start plugging it, but I'm like, wait a second, this episode's gonna come out after the panel takes place, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. If there doesn't happen to be anybody going to Otakon, by the time they're listening to this, the con will have already happened, so you would have already missed it. But just like the time travel of podcasting like this. But yeah, so we're Otakon. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, there's really nothing I'm that psyched for except maybe that Gundam thing, if I can get in. Yeah.
There's stuff. I haven't really gotten a good look at the schedule because the schedule hasn't been officially released on Guidebook yet. It's still
it is.
It finally is because
yeah.
I was using the web schedule and that was just annoying to go through. And it was okay.
3 days before the con, they finally.
Oh, great! Yeah. MAMYC had it like a month ago, but whatever.
Yeah, Anime Boston had theirs like almost a month out too, but I don't know what the fuck Otakon.
There's like a quality drop in Otakon over the last couple of years, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was talking.
Not as bad as Anime Boston, but
no. Anime Boston was great this year.
Okay, I know. Yeah, I didn't go. So
they've figured their shit out, unlike Otakon.
Okay.
So you should try it next year, and you'll see they actually did get their shit together. But yeah, because you hadn't been since the last time I went, which would have been like what 2019 or 2018 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I just went this year, and it was pretty good. But yeah, so we'll talk more about Otakon, as we record throughout the weekend. So, like I said, chronological order, starting with the New Japan G1 Night 12. Then you'll hear me go solo for the Stardom show tomorrow from Korakuen, which is the big 10-match show, the mixed block show that I can't wait for. So I'll be talking about that next. And then Quinlan will probably rejoin me for Thursday for the G1 show. We'll probably record that together. Right now, we're obviously on Zencastr because you're at your house. I'm at my house, but we'll be in the hotel at that point on Thursday in DC. So we'll record the G1 Night 13 that I guess we're both going to watch on the train on the way down. But yeah, so that's pretty much the plan here for this episode. There's another Omakase, I guess, vlog, like throughout the week where I record about each show as it happens. But it's the last week we'll have that format. The rest of I posted a schedule on the Twitter and the Discord. The rest of this month will be normal with guests coming back on like at the end of the weekend to talk about everything. So it's just these 2 weeks, just too much travel for me to do a normal long episode like that. G1 Climax Night 12. So this was from Intex Hall, Osaka Hall 5. It's a new arena for them, so there's nothing to compare it to, but I can guarantee you they were hoping to draw more than 1,142. Does not sound like a good attendance. So I guess you would call this bad attendance news again after the last few nights had good attendance news like we talked about in the last episode, but nobody really came out to this one. And again, Takeshi, I talked about this in the last episode, he needs nothing in his hometown of Osaka. Because this is his hometown. He's not helping them draw it. I mean, you know what? Probably the big part of it is, and I'm thinking about this, DDT meant nothing in Osaka. And even though people don't seem to understand this, AEW doesn't fucking mean shit in Japan.
No, I don't think people realize.
There are people who are like really delusional about this and think AEW could like fucking sell out the Tokyo Dome. And it's like, no, guys, I swear to God, you'll see that take on Twitter. They're really delusional people. They would probably be able to do, if they ran it as like the What's
I
the
think
word
they
for
could
it?
do good because they have Okada
Well, they
and
could-
Ospreay, but not like
Yeah.
unbelievably good. And it's only
They
because
could draw
of
like
that.
8,000 Sumo Hall or something.
And if
Probably.
they brought in Jay White and all the former
Yeah.
big New Japan guys and Juice,
But not that many people in Japan watch it. I don't think people
No.
realize that.
Are they? Is
They
it still
stopped.
even playing on?
It
New
is
Japan?
playing on New Japan World, but they stopped the English. The Japanese dubbing of it because nobody was watching it apparently.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, I mean, it was not that popular in Japan. I don't know. People are you very rarely, you'll sometimes when you look at like Japanese Twitter accounts, you'll come across like the rare person who's watches AEW. It's always a New Japan fan. So like just watching it to keep up with people from New Japan. But first of all, you never see AEW only Japanese fans the way you do with WWE. And I don't know, they're just not, it's not a thing over there. So people, like I said, people are kind of delusional about that. But anyway, I'm gonna get hate mail for that little rant. But
I mean, I guess
the G1 opener. Do you need to see these people on Twitter? Like there are people who think they could sell at the Tokyo Dome. I'm not even kidding. But
no, like, are you over exaggerating with that statement?
No. I've seen tweets where people are like AEW would sell at the Tokyo Dome.
No, they wouldn't.
If they ran it, that's what they say.
Has a wrestling show ever sold out the Tokyo Dome?
Yeah, like Inoki's retirement.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
But it's only happened like.
Well, that Okada, there's one Wrestle Kingdom where they sold out. I think it was the 2020 night one. Okada Ibushi, that was the peak of that era, and I think it sold out all of their allotted tickets, and they could have opened the outfield, but they didn't. So that's the closest that era of New Japan came to selling it out.
Okay.
But yeah. So the G1 opener here, the B block, Konosuke Takeshita defeating Yoshihashi in 15-13 with the Raging Fire. That moved Takeshita up to 5-2 and dropped Yoshihashi down to 4-3. So I watch these shows, I do my ratings before I see anybody else's reactions, because I never want to herd, So I want to rate whatever I feel when I'm watching it, and then I look and see. And it seemed like everybody loved this match, and I was really confused because I didn't think this was anything that special. I mean, this started so fucking slow. Takeshita was sending Yoshi into the railing on the outside. He was choking him against it. There was this really slow beatdown of Yoshihashi in a really uninteresting way back in the ring. We got a long side headlock. Like, it felt to me like he was taking the night off and working the opener here. There was like nothing at all that happened through the 5-minute call. It's only a 15-minute match. It's a third of the match already. And then I thought the pace of the match really didn't pick up through that entire control period. The crowd also, you mentioned this before, the crowd was fucking dead, which doesn't help. And they were dead for a lot of stuff on the show.
But they got them towards the end of this.
So I'm gonna get to that. I would say Yoshi finally hit this like long delayed neck breaker after he reversed the front suplex. That did get the crowd into things a bit. And they traded some hard lariats for Takeshi to hit the bastard driver for a 2 count. But that's already the 10-minute call. So there's been maybe 1 or 2 minutes of good action in the match at the 10-minute call. More than half the match was completely boring. Which you can kind of say that about a lot of New Japan matches. But I feel like this was an extreme example of that, if anything. And also on top of that, some of the New Japan matches that maybe have boring first 10 minutes or whatever go like 20 or 25 or 30, not 15. So I feel like you can forgive that a little more. Like the end of it was good. There was this, although Takeshi hit this lariat at one point that I thought could have looked better. I didn't think it looked that impactful. But Yoshihashi escaped the Raging Fire. He got his roll up for a 2 count. He then there was this really great counter of the Raging Fire. This is probably the highlight of the match, where he turned it into like the spinning suplex in midair. That looked really, really cool. That was easily the highlight of the match. But that left both guys down at that point. Yoshihashi hit this but then again, even stuff at the end I didn't think was that great. He hit this delayed sunset flip powerbomb that I thought looked pretty stupid. Like Takeshi was making these like kind of corny facial expressions while being held up and like struggling. I just was like, okay, can you just powerbomb already? That didn't really work that well for me. Takeshi did hit a pair of exploder suplexes for a 2 count. That was cool. Always like a good exploder. Yoshi hit the power drive knee and then some kind of spinning neck breaker thing into his knee before he followed with a super kick and whatever he calls that cross-legged fisherman buster thing he hits all the time. That got a 2 count. He had a nice axe bomber. Takeshi took a good flipping bump for it. Then he went up and hit the loose explosion, which I still can't believe that's what he called that fucking move. Nobody ever told him loose explosion makes people think of diarrhea. It's very,
I guess no one's told him that yet.
it's very weird. He went for the karma. Well, he kicked out Takeshi kicked out the diarrhea, and then Yoshihashi went for the karma. Takeshi countered it in midair with a stutter. Again, I thought that could have looked better. I thought that looked not that smooth. They traded roll-ups. Takeshi hit the power drive knee for a 2 count, and then the raging fire for a pin. Again, I thought the closing stretch saved this to an extent, but given that I thought there were even flaws with that and how boring I thought the early part of the match is, I couldn't go higher than 3 1/4. I mean, it was a pretty good match at best, but I was seeing a lot of 4s and stuff, and I was just like, I don't. It felt like I was watching.
Go that far, yeah.
Okay. What would you give it?
I probably have to watch it again because I felt like when it actually got good, I just got so excited that, oh my God, things happening. I might overrate it too much because it did, like you said, start off like so, like not only just kind of slow, but also the crowd did not give 2 shits about this match for the longest time. I mean, they got into it at the end, but like, holy crap, it was dead quiet. And I was hoping this wouldn't be the whole show. And it kind of was in a way, as in every match was the crowd's dead. And then like the last 5-10 minutes, they start making noise. But I mean, there have been.
I thought the last 2 matches, they were a little easier to get.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm with you. I didn't think it was that good. 4 stars. No, not that close.
Yeah, so we're probably pretty close then.
Yeah.
The second match, Ren Narita defeated Great Okan in 12-13 with a knee bar. So that moved Narita up to 5-2 for 10 points and dropped Okan to 4-4. I believe that officially limits Okan because he only has 1 more match left. He has like one of the Gabe Kidd buys. I think this next show is a great Gabe
Does
Kidd
it? Because
buy.
they didn't say that.
Well, he's wrestled 8 matches, so nobody else is. If you wrestled 8 matches, you only have 1 match left. Okay. So yeah, because his next match and the next show in Yokohama Budokan, that's his Gabe Kidd buy show. He's not on the show.
He doesn't have like a way to get in like a 10-way because they.
I don't believe. Well, there might be some really technical way he can get in, but I think he's gone.
I don't think he is advancing. But,
I don't think he has any tiebreakers over anybody because his losses. His losses, I think, are all to like people who are probably going to be in the mix. So I don't know. He might not be double red X'd as like Joe Lanza always says in his audio, but he's got the single red X at least. It's not very likely.
That's what I'm thinking it might be. Okay.
Yeah. So this match fucking sucked, by the way. And I liked Narita at the start of this tournament. He's fallen off a fucking cliff in this tournament since then. And it sucks because I want to like the guy, and I liked him earlier this year against Gabe Kidd in the New Japan Cup match, and I thought he was a big part of the dog pound cage match. But yeah, he's just, after that first match with Zach where he was great and 1 or 2 other signs from here, I thought he's been pretty bad lately. And this was another one where, again, it didn't help the crowd didn't give anything even resembling a fuck about this match. I mean, they never got into this one. So that hurt it too. But they just, I don't know. I mean, Great Okan did a decent job selling his knee. Everything was very slow. There was so little heat. Great Okan, he did get the head and arm choke and like slam Narita down before putting it right back on. But then he fell for Kanemaru ringing the bell like a moron, even though they do that in every match. Like, wait for the fucking ref to tell you the match is over. If you're facing a House of Torture member, you cannot trust the ring bell, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of makes no sense that these guys still fall for that. Like, there's stuff the House does where that doesn't require the opponent to be a complete idiot. This one at this point requires the opponent to be a complete idiot. Like, you should know by now. If I hear the bell, it might be Kanemaru. Let me look at the ref and make sure the ref is saying, yes, it's over. He tapped before I release my hold. And he was, like, posing and everything, like, yeah, I won. I'm like, why do we have to make Great Okan look like a fucking moron?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he got jumped before the match. Like, they should all know House of Torture.
Yeah. That one doesn't bother me as much because it's like, you get jumped. I don't know. You can't have eyes in the back of your head every time. But the bell one annoys me now. Where it's like, yes, you should fucking know. If you hear the bell ring in a submission in a House of Torture match, it might not be the finish. So
at least you'll get to it.
Yeah. So Great Okan, so Kanemaru hit him in the knee with the whiskey bottle when Red was distracted the ref. Narita put him back in a leg lock and Okan would submit. He did a front. Great Okan came back. He did a front suplex hold for a 2 count. You don't see that very often. a front suplex with bridge. That was kind of cool. But Narita then hit him with the push-up bar to the knee. He put back on the leg lock. It felt like this entire match was just one big leg lock. Great-O-Khan briefly got the Iron Claw, almost made the ropes after Narita got out of the claw. But Narita pulled him back to the middle. But then, yes, Jay rang the bell. And this made sense because, first of all, Narita's a heel and he's allowed to look a little dopey sometimes. But second of all, I think it's just cool that Narita, just like, it made sense that Narita would be like be so cocky that he doesn't expect the house to them to do that back to the house. So he's just like, oh, of course, I submitted him. And no, it's them using house tactics on them. So that was fun. You got to kick out of that, huh?
A lot, yes.
Yeah. Great-O-Khan, unfortunately, then he got the Iron Claw and he started hitting Narita in the head with what I'm pretty sure is the bad knee. So, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty stupid. So it's like, buddy, you were selling the knee so well that you did that.
And then he lost.
Yeah. Great-O-Khan did hit the Dominator on Narita, but Narita kind of had hold of Marty, so Marty got bumped. Kanemaru tried to come in again, but Jay helped take care of him. But then Great-O-Khan went for the Dominator off the middle rope, but Narita had whiskey in his mouth the whole time. Did you see the picture of him? So Kanemaru's whiskey bottle accidentally broke when he fell out of the ring. And so that meant Narita had to like get on his fucking hands and knees and slurp up whiskey from a broken bottle on the floor. Yes, I knew that was going to be dangerous. Also, with broken glass there too. So he really did go all out for that. That was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But yes, he spits this whiskey, the ground whiskey that hopefully isn't going to give him fucking ham, foot, and mouth disease or something. And he what can that give you? Like a bacterial disease or something?
Well, I mean, with whiskey, I like to think.
Oh yeah, the whiskey would kill it probably.
Would kill a lot of the germs, so maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
But there could be pieces of glass in there, which.
Yeah. So he spit the whiskey. Well, if there's a piece of glass in there, we would have seen his mouth bleed.
Oh no, I'm sure he's fine. But I just, if I was in his head doing that, I'd be like, oh fuck, I hope I don't swallow this glass.
Yeah. But yeah, then he hits a low blow and the double cross, and that gets the pin. Oh no, actually, to get 2 count, and they put the leg lock on, and that gets the submission.
And then he submitted to the leg that he was okay, and now is bad again.
Yeah. Okay. Great-O-Khan, this is way too boring and heatless throughout. Great-O-Khan randomly ignored the knee injury for a moment towards the end, was also infuriating after he sold it so well. So I thought this was a below average match, 2 1/4. The second worst match of the G1 so far after Narita and ELP. So Narita, not having a great tournament at this point. So
I don't think I disliked it as much as you, but yeah, it was. I mean, maybe it was just another House of Torture match, but at least they had something clever in it with although it looked dumb that he outsmarted them and still lost. But
yeah,
I mean, I was hoping Great-O-Khan would go farther. I feel like he deserves, because like you said, I think he's pretty much done after this. I don't think he's technically mathematic because they didn't say it, but I don't think he can win out, which is too bad. But it was just another crappy House of Torture match. I didn't love it or anything, but I don't think it's my second worst match.
Can I make a hot take? What? Evil is doing the House of Torture matches way better.
Yeah.
Remember how great that match he had with Finley was, and like the one with Yuya too.
His match with Sonata was freaking hilarious. I thought I'd hate that match, and I was laughing my ass off when.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
El Phantasmo defeated Drilla Maloney and 503 with the CR3. That moved ELP up to 3 and 5, even though he's already eliminated, obviously. And he's the one who. So there's 2 people left who are going to miss the show still, whose game matches were still scheduled. We already said Great-O-Khan's missing the next show, which is the second to last one. ELP is the one who was supposed to face game of the last show. So, that's probably why they had him lose so much, because it's like he's not going to be a factor anyway, and he's not on the final show. So, but he did win here, and that put Drilla down to 4 and 3 for 8 points. I thought this was actually awesome, which is funny because I really haven't loved either guy's tournament, especially ELP. Although he has slowly come around on the last few shows, I think. He's been a lot better lately. So, but this, I mean, especially after how boring and slow the last 2 matches were, I love that they decided to just go out there and fucking go balls to the wall for the entire 5 minutes. Like, they just had a crazy-ass sprint. Drilla, like, hit this front dropkick right off the bell. ELP came back with a tope and then a moonsault from the top rope to the floor. He tried for a springboard senton bomb back in the ring, but Drilla got his knees up and then hit a gore for a 2 count. ELP escaped the Drilla killer. Maloney, but then kind of powered him up into like this deadlift power bomb thing, which looked really cool. ELP cut Drilla off though with his hanging kick on the top rope. The one thing that was sucked was it was supposed to be like he was supposed to like get grabbed by Drilla, but it looked more like he kind of laid across his arms. That was kind of stupid. I mean, you could see him reaching for him, but just it looked a little too cooperative. But yeah, that Drilla then hit a top rope. I don't know what this was, like a top rope landslide almost, right? Because it started from a Death Valley driver position, then it turned into like a driver. So that's like the landslide, I think. But yeah, why? I don't know why he was doing a landslide out of nowhere, but that was cool. I don't know if he was just trying to do a Death Valley driver, and that's what it turned into. But Drilla tried to catch ELP off the second rope with the Drilla killer, but ELP landed on his feet. They traded flash pin attempts, and again, this fit all into 5 minutes. Drilla spiked him on his head with a delayed pile driver. ELP hit a super kick and then a Canadian destroyer off the second rope. Drilla stumbled right back up to his feet, but then walked right into CR2, just barely kicked out. And ELP hit another one, then held under his arms and hit the CR3, and then the Thunder Kiss Splash, and that got the pin. I don't know why it's a CR3 there. He hit him with the Thunder Kiss Splash after that. Yeah, I thought this was awesome. I went 4 stars on this. I love this match, especially if the first 2, again, were so slow. So, I don't know. Like a 5-minute fucking bomb-throwing sprint is exactly what I wanted at this point. So.
Yeah, I like that this was the first match he's had that felt like a TV title match in a way, as in it was quick and, like...
Yeah.
It didn't even go, like, it went under 5 minutes. Like, it showed, like...
Yeah, 5 minutes and 3 seconds, yeah.
I don't know why all of his matches up to this point have been so, like, slow and when he's the TV champion, and... This is the first match that, like, felt, like, quick with a lot of moves in it. And I could tell, like, when this match started, I think they're going to go probably under 10 minutes, and they went under 5 minutes. And they got a lot in and had a great match in under 5 minutes. And I kept thinking, why haven't all the TV champions matches been like that? That would make, I don't know. Maybe
it suits him way better.
Maybe now... because he's been losing most of his matches. Maybe his last couple matches will be like this, and he'll win out and show like he's better when he.
He only has one match left, buddy.
Oh, he only has one match left. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Maybe that's the story they're trying to tell, or maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. But,
yeah. But you really liked it too.
Yeah, I really liked it too. Yeah. Like this is probably his best match of the tournament. The ELP, I think.
I think second best after the Zach match, but yeah. Speaking of Zach, main event, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Shingo Takagi in 2053. That moved Zach up to 5-2 and dropped Shingo down to 3-4. Now, they said on the broadcast he was eliminated. It's apparently not true. So, if he wins his next 2 matches to get to 5-4, he'll have 10 points, and there is some tiebreaker where he can get through.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so he's not eliminated.
He was okay.
Yeah, the broadcast was incorrect about that. Because I Chris Samsa, again, Florida Pro Wrestling dude, he's been on the show before. He did confirm after the show, so I trust his math. So
maybe they were also wrong by not saying Khan is eliminated when he is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. But yeah, this one started a little bit slow, although again, but not as boring as the first 2 matches. It was mostly Zach working over Shingo's leg for a while. He also then started going after Shingo's arm, so he was kind of working on 2 limbs at once, which is cool. It's like the kind of unique little thing that Zach can do in a different, like, to bring a different touch to his matches. He caught Shingo's arm attempting a sliding lariat and just like really twisted it just for the 10-minute call. So that was like a cool little spot. Shingo hit a pretty nice superplex, but was still selling his knee, so he couldn't follow it up right away. The crowd again have been pretty quiet, but they did finally get into it here as Shingo went for the Made in Japan. He couldn't get it, but he threw Zach to his knees and hit this sliding lariat. And then finally did hit the Made in Japan on the second try. That got a 2 count. Zach came back with the Zach driver out of nowhere, and that left both guys down heading into the 15-minute call. Zach then kept hitting these penalty kicks on Shingo, which he kept no-selling. I thought that was pretty cool. And then Zach targeted his arm again, and he like stomped on it. He divorce coded it, whatever you want to call it, and then hit another PK. Shingo, though, picked him straight up running into his own Michinoku driver, so a Shingo driver. And then he got the Burning Dragon, which is like his super finisher. I was surprised he went for that already, but his arm hurt, so he couldn't cover right away, and Zach was able to kick out. Shingo then hit the repeated elbows on Zach, but Zach suddenly got him in a sleeper. Shingo tried to turn it into a pin, but nearly got pinned by the European clutch himself before Zach hit a tornado spinning DDT and another Zach driver. Shingo kicked out, but then Zach turned it straight into a leg lock after he kicked out, one of those masterful transitions Zach can do. But Shingo finally managed to roll the ropes to force a break after a long struggle. He no-sold some lariats from Zach and destroyed him with a pumping bomber just for the 20-minute call. Zach had a series of slaps, but Shingo just punched him right in the face, which was awesome. He had a headbutt and a sliding forearm, followed by a short-arm lariat. But then the only thing really the only thing in this match at all, and especially the only thing at the end I didn't like, was the finish. So he hits the Last of Dragon. Zach, for no reason, just no-sells it and rolls right through into a pin, and that gets the pin. What the fuck? What was his finish? I don't understand what this finish was supposed to be.
Was that exactly how it happened?
He got hit with the Last of Dragon, and he just rolled right through the pin and just pinned him. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't understand what that was supposed to be. And on top of that, he didn't even have his shoulders all the way down.
Okay.
So that was not good. Not a good finish.
It was Last the Dragon? Okay.
Yeah, it was Last of Dragon.
I thought it was okay. I thought
very strange finish.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is. I thought for some reason I remember it being like, what's the other move?
No, it wasn't Made in Japan. It was
Made in Japan. Okay, it was Last the Dragon. Yeah, that kind of. Huh.
I didn't get this finish, and it also looked bad because it was one down. So.
Yeah.
Look, the match was still awesome. It's just like I would have gone like 4.5 without that finish. With that finish, I have to go 4.25. It's a 4.25 match with that finish because I hated the finish and it didn't look good anyway. So has to take off a quarter star. So yeah, 4.25. Yeah. Still an awesome match, but I didn't get that finish. I didn't like it.
The match was. I think they thought it'd be cool if oh my god, he countered it but countering.
It looked
having
really
the move
weird.
have no effect on him is a little.
Yeah,
strange.
It just looked really weird. And on top of that, like I said, the shoulder wasn't down.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, but yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
It was a great technical match overall, except for
it was really good. Besides the finish, again, like I would have gone like 4.5 without the finish. It's just the finish was not good. So I got to take off the quarter star to me. But still an awesome match, though, right?
Oh yeah. The match was awesome. That just
still clearly match of the night by a mile.
They should have changed the finish probably there, not gone with that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts about the match?
No, other than like Zack Sabre Jr. is still like fucking awesome, and he's by far the best technical wrestler in the world.
I think it's like him. There's like 4 people I think are really, really great technical wrestlers. It's like him, El Desperado, Starlight Kid, and Soriano. I think those are the 4 best technical wrestlers in the world. But okay. I wouldn't really kill anybody for naming any of them as their pick. But yeah,
somebody, but sure.
Who else am I forgetting?
You're allowed to pick people from America, buddy.
Like who?
Well, Brian Danielson.
He's fucking retired.
Well, he'll be back,
buddy. Until he wrestles again, he's retired.
Do you want to make a bet of whether he wrestles again?
Okay, at best he'll be semi-retired.
Okay, I'll give you.
He's never going to be a full-time wrrestler again.
No, I don't. But I
don't think he's better than any of those 4 anyway. But on top of that, especially the way the style he works in AEW.
Well, if you're saying today, he's not
as
good as them. Sure, the Brian Danielson of today, sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, then we're in agreement.
I wouldn't say the best technical wrestlers of all time. I'm saying these are the 4. To me, these are the 4 best technical wrestlers in the world right now. There's some people. I'm trying to think who else. Shinya Aoki in DDT is probably another one. Somebody in All Japan that's really good. Hideki Suzuki in All Japan, although he doesn't really wrestle that style anymore, so maybe not another current one. I'm trying to think who else. There has to be other people I'm forgetting. But those are the 4 that jump out at me immediately. It's like the 4 best technical wrestlers in the world right now. I mean, there's sure as fuck nobody in AEW without Danielson.
Yeah.
Who would AEW... Like, Lee Moriarty could never get on television? That's like their best technical wrestler probably, right?
I guess, but I almost never see him. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, who is better?
Why are you yelling at me? I don't know. We had this discussion the other day. And
I know.
It's really want people to hate you.
Well, I feel like even the AEW fans would admit this. I don't know.
I feel like there's someone we're forgetting, but it might be because they're never on TV or they're like they.
Well, Lee Moriarty is the one that stands out to me. He's never on television, but whenever I see him, I'm like, yeah, that guy's a good technical wrestler. But they never put him on TV. I don't know. I can't think of anybody else. It's like Danielson, who's basically retired, or at least semi-retired. I guess Mercedes does some decent technical wrestling sometimes. I wouldn't say that's her calling card or anything.
It's been a while. I don't think this counts. It's been a long time, but I could have sworn there were times where MJF did good. Okay.
Yeah.
Not lately, but
I still wouldn't put him on the level
compared to the rest of the roster.
He's probably one of the best on the roster, unfortunately.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous, but yeah. Anyway, that isn't Barry AEW time. So, but those are the 4 best technical wrestlers in the world to me, and I definitely put Zach up there still. Zach, Despy, Starlight Kid, and Soriano. But yeah, like Zach is a really good wrestler still. They're lucky to have him. They're lucky he's like a socialist or whatever. But yeah, I mean, after everybody complained about him winning back the title, including me, I'm not even saying not me. He's been a really, really good wrestler in the tournament still, and he's really been carrying this B block. Considering, as we talked about the last episode, Takeshita is having a worse tournament than he did last year. So, and Gabe K got injured immediately. So without Zach, this B block would be really in bad shape. I mean, you're talking like after that, you're talking Shingo, who's been good still, but is clearly like on the downside of his career. Otakon, who's been really good, but like is not quite at this level. But yeah, I mean, like, Zach is really carrying the B block. So, all right, we can wrap up this. We've already been 32 minutes on this one show, so we have a lot of shows to talk about, folks. So I'm not wrapping anything up because we'll be back for you, it'll be 2 seconds, and you'll hear me talking about Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix from Korakuen Hall. So I'll be back in a sec. And Quinlan will be back too. So Quinlan will be back for the G1 on Thursday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the last year here Quinlan this episode either. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. All right, folks, continuing this episode now. So as mentioned, we're going chronological order this time. So just all the New Japan shows, all the Stardom shows as they happen throughout the week. It's Wednesday as I'm recording right now, August 6th. So today was the Stardom Korakuen from Korakuen. I don't know why I said that. Stardom 5-star, day 6 from Korakuen Hall, Wednesday, August 6th. This was a mixed block show. So back to all 4 blocks, I should say. A 10-match card. This show was fucking awesome. I mean, just flat out right off the bat. I mean, this was either the best or second best show. I think for average rating, I had it below the Sendai show. That great Red Block Sendai show where like everything was great, but the high-end stuff on the show was better than that Sendai show. So, including my new second best match of the tournament, my new, I think, 4th best match of the tournament. I mean, there's some really cool stuff on this show. Really nothing bad either. Some stuff on the undercard that wasn't like thrilling or anything, but nothing bad at all. And yeah, this was a really enjoyable show. Shout out to Walker Stewart, who did a great job on English commentary, if he happens to hear this. Being dropped into a promotion that obviously is, excuse me, little burp there. He's being dropped into a promotion that obviously is not your full-time promotion. And when you have a full-time promotion and having to do your best to catch up with and everything, I thought he did a really great job, with the live English commentary here, like, giving people background who maybe are dropping in and trying this show, since they really, since obviously Stardom doesn't have English commentary very often. He also said, by the way, for people who maybe didn't listen to the English, if you didn't listen to the English, if you listened to the Japanese, he said at the end of the show, he has heard you. I think he literally said, you don't have to DM me about this so much, but he has heard people's requests to bring back these subtitled backstage interviews, and it is something they're looking into. So he did say some stuff moves very slowly in Japan, which is definitely the case in a corporate setting, but it does look like it's something that they're looking into. So for those of you who have been wanting the return of these subtitle backstage promos, which I would say myself is one of them, apparently that is on its way back at some point, or something they're looking into at least. So there you go. But yeah, it's an awesome show here. The only negative, I guess, would be the ticket sales were not good. I mean, it didn't look like they were going to be every time I checked. There were way too many sections still available. It did only 1,024 here. You know, it's a midweek show, and they've run Tokyo pretty heavily in the last few months, especially between the Yoyogi show and Oda Award for the opener, and even Oda Award for Sayori and Poi's anniversary show, and you know, they've run a lot of big Tokyo shows, so it seems like some people sat this one out. So this is like our first show with a 5-star this year that's down from last year, because last year the like mid tournament Korakuen, they didn't run like a playoff Korakuen, they run the playoffs at Shinjuku Face, which they're going to run the playoffs at Korakuen this time. But yeah, the mid tournament Korakuen did 1,460 last year, so way down from last year, the first time that's happened. So you know, they've had so much positive attendance news this year. They were probably due to have something negative, and this is definitely their first big negative attendance news, really, of the entire year. The show started with Momo Watanabe defeating Rana Yagami in the blue block. That moved Momo's record. She had been 2-1 entering this, I believe. Yes, that is true. Oh, no, she had been 3-0 entering this, excuse me. So that moved her up to 4-0, so she's perfect, still undefeated in Blue B, while Rana Yagami is stuck on 2 points here. So Rana kicked Konami with soccer ball kicks to the back early on. Then she was like, you know, she sat down and basically challenged her to do the same, but Momo just kicks her in the face instead because she's a big jerk. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, she's acting like she was going to do it, and she's like, nah, fuck you, I'm just going to kick you in the face, asshole. They got some brief crowd brawling before Rana went back on the offensive, back in the ring. She tried for a cross arm breaker and did briefly get it on before Momo made the ropes. They traded middle kicks before Momo wiped her out with a running PK just before the 5-minute mark. Rana went for the cross arm breaker again. Momo was able to make it to the ropes, but Rana basically stayed right on her and got it right back on before Momo made the ropes the third time. And then a little bit after that, she was able to get the cross-face chicken wing on Rana out of nowhere and force her to submit. So, pretty good mat opener. I wouldn't call this much watch or anything, but it was, pretty good while it lasted. 3.25-star match here. Good little match. Next up, we have May Sierra defeating B. Priestley in 6:22 with the reverse shooting star. That moved May all the way up to 7 points, while B is now stuck on 6 points. She'd started out 3-0. Before losing her last 2 matches now, the Hanam match and now this one. This is Red A, if I didn't say that. I can never remember if I said that, honestly. So I was kind of like, I'd say perversely interested in this one almost, because it's the ultimate high-speed girl, right? Literally the high-speed champion who works at such a fucking fast pace versus the slow-speed girl. I mean, the slow-speed woman, B. Priestley, who, as I talked about in the last episode, really stands out in a negative way. For how she really struggles to keep up with the pace of this roster. And, you know, I know B has been in Stardom before, obviously, but I think pretty much anyone who was watching Stardom at that time would tell you, like, the median Stardom roster member right now is a lot better than the median Stardom wrestler was during B's day. I mean, there's just a lot less junk on this roster, and the roster is a lot stronger overall. And you know, there's not a lot of foreigners in general either, and there used to be a lot more foreigners. And B just kind of stands out because she just doesn't really wrestle at the pace of these Stardom wrestlers. Maybe if she stayed a while, she would get to that pace eventually. I'm not saying it's like even necessarily her fault. I mean, these girls all work with each other constantly, but right now she does stand out. And watching her like sort of try to do the high speed style, but in this match, I should say. But at a weirdly, like, half speed, like, the cradle attempts, you know, it was kind of cringe. I mean, the cradle attempts early on were, like, a little clunky looking, and May, at one point, had to sort of, like, stop herself on the second rope, so B had enough time to knock her to the outside. That looked kind of stupid. I did think after that it got better, though. So B was, like, throwing May around back in the ring with her power advantage. That was enjoyable. May was taking some good bumps for that. Again, not as fun as the usual high-speed May match, but, you know, they were playing into their strengths better there. But yeah, May ends up rolling her up out of the corner, out of nowhere, with the rolling sunset flip cradle, the reverse shooting star, as they called it, for the pin. I went Gentlewoman's 3 on this. I mean, that may have even been generous, given, again, that the early part of it was kind of clunky, but I thought they recovered pretty well. And, you know, May selling for B was good. And, you know, I mean, May... I would have rather watched an actual May high-speed match, but this was fine. This was like a 3-star match. B's best match so far. So give it up for May Sierra there. She's having a good tournament because she got that kind of match out of B. 2 minutes and 12 seconds in the next match. I don't know why I said the time first either. Red Stars A, Azusa Inaba defeated Yuna Mizumori in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So Yuna offered Azusa a handshake for some reason. I'm like, why are you offering this juvenile delinquent a handshake? Like, that's not a smart move there, Yunamon. And she eats a scissors kick right to the face, and I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know, like that's the scorpion and the frog. Like, what did you think was going to happen, Yuna? They quickly end up on the floor. They started trading some hard forearms to the chest. Azusa started throwing some pretty hard middle kicks, very stiff here while it lasted. They got back in the ring where they traded roll-up attempts. And ultimately, Azusa ends up on top, and she gets the pin with the roll-up. Again, super fun while it lasted, so I went 3 stars on this as well. Apparently, if Hanan had beaten Saya in the main, which she ultimately didn't, I guess, spoiler alert there, I don't know why you'd start listening to this review if you didn't want to be spoiled, but yes. If according to Walker, which was good, it was good to have English commentary to tell me this, if Hanan had beat Saya in the main, Yuna would have been eliminated, but obviously Hanan lost, so Yuna's not eliminated, I guess. Then we had Blue Stars A. Ruaka defeated Amy Sore in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, God. Excuse me again. With the shutdown German hold. So, Ruaka, she basically, ran right at Ami. She was attacking her while she's making her entrance. The little shocked face that Ami made was pretty funny. It's like, a heel attacking me during my entrance. It was just kind of funny. Ami and Ruaka took turns running into each other with shoulder blocks back in the ring. Ami eventually won that exchange. She got a half crab. Ruaka did make it to the ropes to break. Momo tripped Ami out from the floor. She tripped her up from the floor. She pulled her out of the ring. And then Ruaka was able to toss her into some chairs, the usual hate chair tossing. A little later back in the ring, Ami managed to get Ruaka up for a superplex. No easy feat, given Ruaka is a large woman. Rina took the ref, though, so Ruaka could throw the plastic box in her face. Did make a very loud thunk noise, I will say. And Ruaka then hit a splash off the top. Ami managed to just barely kick out. And Ruaka then hit a German suplex. She held onto the bridge, didn't go for a pin, just held onto the rolling German. I don't know why I wrote it like that. And then the second German was the big delayed shutdown German, and that got the pin. This was the worst match on the show. It wasn't like it was bad. I still went 2 3/4. It was very much just there. So I just didn't... Something about this didn't click with me. I just never thought they really got going. And Ami's having such a great tournament, and Ruaka's looked better for the most part, so I don't know, the two of them just never really clicked and never really felt like it worked for me. I don't even really have a hard time putting my finger on what was wrong with this match. It really wasn't that much wrong with it. It just never got going. So match that did get going, though, and this is where the show really picks up into overdrive. Natsuka Tora defeats Sayaka Kurara in 9:46 in the Red B block with the Swanton Bomb. This match was fucking awesome, and this was way better than I thought it was going to be going in. So, Sayaka, she gets nowhere but Tora early, as you'd expect. She's literally bouncing off of her, just cannot do anything. They go out to the floor, Tora slams her hard, but she misses a running senton, which gives Sayaka the chance to hit a big diving crossbody off the top all the way to the floor. She tries for the Tokimeki spear back in the ring, but Tora just easily blocks it, just basically stands there and holds her ground. A little later, though, Sayaka gets her choke in. Tora, though, is able to make the ropes. She tries to take back over, but misses a butt drop and very nearly gets pinned with a crucifix, some real 2.999 shit there. Tora comes back, though, with a diving crossbody, a running crossbody, I should say, and then a standing senton to get her own near fall. But Sayaka gets the choke back on Tora by just leaping onto the back of her while she's standing up. She eventually gets her back on the mat, and she really has that choke in. I feel like I put over Sayaka's choke in every match. It's just... or like every episode, but like the way she manages to like look so vicious when she's, you know, obviously the usual cute unicorn, it's a great, you know, it's a great like contrast, and it really works. So she's just like, you know, I'm going to choke you out. She really does feel like the Tam Nakano protege when she does stuff like that, because Tam obviously also used to be very adorable, and yet she could also go total murder mode, which, you know, very good for Stardom babyface. So yeah, she has this choke in. She really has the hooks in. Tora is selling like she's being choked out by this sparkly unicorn, which is a pretty funny visual. And Tora, again, good selling here. Really did sell like she was being choked out. She makes it the bottom rope to finally get the break. Sayaka goes for the spear again, but Tora then hits her with her own counter spear. That looked very good. She just exploded right through her. She then got the cannonball in the corner for a 2 count. She missed the Swanton bomb off the top and a running knee from Sayaka that I guess was basically the violent shooting, like the old Tom Nakano violent shooting, which is always a funny funny move name when that Japanese announcers, especially when they yell violent shooting, and it's like, well, a violent shooting. Yeah, I mean, I get it's supposed to be a shooting star, but like just kind of funny, violent shooting. She finally hits the Tokimeki spear after that. Tora, though, kicks out at 1. That was fucking awesome. Sayaka tried to lift her for the Falcon Arrow, but couldn't get her. But then she gets this great double leg takedown. It was just a perfect double leg right into a jackknife cover for a super close near fall. And this is where I gave, whenever I wrote down in my notes, like, this match rocks, it's like when I'm really, really enjoying it. So that's where I wrote it here after that. Awesome double leg takedown. Tora finally catches Sayaka running in, though, with a nice counter lariat, then hits a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. She finally hits the Swanton after that, and that gets the pin. Yeah, this rocked. Tora doing some of the, like, Tora, that's a good Tora, okay? She's someone I've never enjoyed that much. Like, she felt like someone whose only good moves were, like, jumping and crushing people as hard as she could, which, you know, that does look good when you do that, but I mean, but yeah, I don't know, she's like, in this 5-star, she's been on a fucking tear. I mean, this is like the best work I've seen her do, especially as a single, in her career. I mean, she looks really good in there right now, and she's selling more, she's not leaning into just being the monster, and it's making these matches a lot better. And Sayaka, sometimes I see people say she lacks fire. I don't know where the fuck that critique is coming from. She does not lack fire to me. I mean, she looks very fired up here trying to take down Tora. So I thought this match was awesome. I went 4 stars here. You know, Sayaka continues to look really good for her level of experience, and Tora is like doing the best work of her career. So 4 stars. Awesome match. Next up, we had Hanako and Suzuki going to a double countout in 11:59. Hanako went right at Suzu early. She was like charging her in the corner before the bell. They ended up on the floor where Hanako sent Suzu into the chairs. One thing I've noticed is she has like suddenly been a bit more aggressive throughout this tournament. I mean, she's just been very like she's like the only non Mi Vida Loca and Hate member that sends people into chairs with any regularity, and she just looks like she's really leaning into like, you know, being the big monster or whatever, and just leaning into like her aggression. So I don't know if that's a tease of a turn or something to come after the 5-star is over, but it does seem interesting to me. And it's such a huge contrast to Lady C, who I've talked about in the last episode as being like this tall wrestler who doesn't lean into her size at all, but like is strangely endearing as the underdog. Hanako comes off like an ass kicker, and like she's just this big bad woman. So, you know, it works for her. It's a very different vibe from Lady C. Suzu, though, reverses at one point on the outside and sends Hanako in to some chairs even harder than Hanako did to her. She then channels her inner Sonata, grabs a water bottle and just flings it at her. I think she flinged at her much harder than Sonata usually does, to be fair. But so yeah, a little bit of a slow pace early. Hanako, when we get back to the ring, she does manage to get a head and arm choke. That looks good. I mean, whenever she starts doing that, because she has such a height advantage on the entire roster except Bozella and Lady C, you know, she gets such great leverage with that head and arm choke. So it's a great move for her to pick up. Suzu escapes it pretty quick, though, so, you know, whatever. But, I mean, I've noticed her doing it in other matches, too. We get a pretty good exchange of hard elbows, first to the chest and then to the head by Suzu. They trade slaps to the face, with Suzu's last one putting Hanako down to the mat. A bit later on, Hanako hits this nice running boot right to Suzu's face, but she no-sells it and then drops Hanako right on the back of her head with a released German. Well, not to make fun of Walker too much because he does a great job, but he did call Hanako a tower here, and I wanted to be like, Walker, that's the other tall lady. This is the woman who's taller than the tower. That's like, that should be her nickname. Why is that not Hanako's nickname? Taller than a tower. Taller than the human tower. Suzu hits a couple big kicks, and then the tequila shot, but Hanako kicks out. A little surprised she kicked out the tequila shot. Hanako cuts Suzu off climbing the ropes. She power bombs her off there for a 2 count. She picks her up into an Argentine backbreaker position, but Suzu manages to grab onto the top rope to get herself down. Then she low bridges Hanako, charging in, sending her to the outside again. She throws her into some more chairs. Then she shoves Barb into the ring when he tried to stop her from using a chair on her. So that took Barb out for a little bit, and he was like, so he didn't start the count as soon, I guess. Hanako picks Suzu up on the shoulders. She carries her into the crowd. I hate that when wrestlers do that when the crowd is not very impressive, and I don't know why they do that. Like, oh, we're gonna fight all the way up into the oranges. But I'm like, there's not that many people in the oranges tonight, unfortunately. Then they end up fighting, which this you really almost never see. They fought all the way down the middle staircase that leads from the lobby up to the orange seats. So if you've never been in Corcoran Hall, this probably is a little hard for you to picture visually. I mean, especially if you didn't see the show. But basically, you know that middle staircase that the wrestlers always climb up onto to do dives sometimes? So that staircase goes down and leads you into the lobby. And that lobby is like how you get in through the front door where the elevators are, is where they take your ticket. Because the Corcoran Hall is like on the 4th floor or whatever. And the lobby is also like the ground level, because if you can either, when you get in, you can go left or right, and that will take you to either side to where the ring is, like the ground level where the ring is, where the bleachers are, or you can go up these staircases that take you straight up into the oranges, the top of the oranges. So they went down that staircase, and I probably didn't need to explain that so much, but I love Corcoran Hall. I never get tired of talking about Corcoran Hall, except they need to reopen the smoking room. When are they going to do that for me? But anyway, so Barb finally recovers at some point. He starts counting them both out, but they're both still so busy fighting. Suzu does finally put Hanako down. She sprints back to the ring, and I thought she beat the fucking count, but then when the bell rings, they announce it as a draw. So yeah, that was weird. I thought Suzu clearly got back in the ring in time, but Barbara's like, oh, you didn't roll all the way in the ring, which I've never seen them call it like that. Like, he basically said you were still underneath the rope when I got to 20. So, I don't know. It looked a little weird, and it looked like Suzu had beaten it when she didn't, so she probably should have timed that a little better. When the idea, I guess, was to show that she just barely didn't beat it. But yeah, goofy ending, but I thought it was pretty good, so I went 3 1/4. Maybe could have gone 3 1/2 if the ending wasn't so goofy, but, pretty good match here. Next up, we had Blue Stars B. Hina defeated Konami in 7:35 with the Gato clutch. So that's Hina's first win in the 5-star. She gets up to 2 points. Konami's still stuck on 2, so she's not doing very well right now. This had some nice grappling to start. They were trading some holds, that kind of thing. Little random note here. I think Hina is one of the only wrestlers in this entire tournament, if not the only one, period, who got new gear for the 5-star, and I think her new gear is like a significant downgrade on what she was wearing. Because she was wearing that kind of gladiator-looking gear that looked really cool, and this blue gear she has now just looks very plain or flat by comparison. So I think she should go back to her old gear, honestly. Again, the match stays very mat-based for the most part through the first 5 minutes. Konami does cut Hina off trying to climb to the top rope and slams her down off there before hitting a running PK. She goes up top and hits this very nice diving delayed high kick. That had a great snap to the kick. That got a 2 count. Hina came back with a Gato clutch out of nowhere for a near fall. She walked into another Konami high kick, but she no-sold it and hit this nice half-hatch suplex. Konami did this cool little standing switch on her, though, as she ran in and got a German suplex hold for a 2 count. Then she tried to take her down into the triangle dancer, but Hina reversed it. She got the Gato clutch one time, Konami kicked out, and then Hina basically rolled into another Gato clutch immediately, and that got the pin. So I thought that was a pretty cool little finish. Definitely did not expect her to just go right back to the Gato clutch and get the pin the second try. Really the third try for the whole match. Good match, hard-hitting little technical contest. So I went 3.5. Enjoyed this quite a bit. And I enjoyed the little story because I think Konami lost to Rana too. So it's like Sayori's karate children are getting a measure of revenge on Konami after, remember the long Sayori-Konami feud we had when Konami turned on her. But yeah, this was a good match. Next up, this is, again, these next 3 matches, all fucking awesome again. Starting out with the Blue Stars A, Sayoriano and Bozilla go to a 15-minute time limit draw. Sayori's on a hell of a roll, and I think she's someone that listeners can kind of know by now. I very much am enjoying and think she's always been great every time I've seen her, but she's just doing some of the best work of her career right now. So yeah, she locked up with Bozilla here. Bozilla shoved her down right away. Then they went to a double knuckle lock, and that didn't go much better for her either. She bridged herself out of a pin attempt and hit the delayed axe kick, but she got put down easily with a single shoulder block from Bozilla. So just all Bozilla dominating early as you'd expect. She clotheslined Sayori to the floor. She took her all the way to the west side of the building. I guess the west sign was blocked by like a curtain over there, so she just rammed her into the... Bozilla felt around and found it, and then nailed Sayori into it face first. I thought that was funny. But then Bozilla then dragged Sayori to the other side where the east sign is, but east sign is, I should say. But Sayori fought back and then rammed her into it face first instead. And she's all fired up here. Walker's like she's the most indomitable woman to ever live, and I'm like, hell yeah, Walker. Great call by Walker there. Bozilla comes back by whipping her hard into chairs just before the 5-minute call. Sayori cuts Bozilla off, though, with a dragon screw back in the ring. She puts her right into a figure 4 leg lock. Just, as always, beautiful submission work by Sayori there. Bozilla is able to make it to the ropes before Sayori hits this neat little sliding kick to the leg. So he slides in, kicks her in the leg, which is not a kind of kick you see every day. And Bozilla sold it great. She was grabbing the leg and she hop, kind of does a little hop and is selling it like she's really in pain. I've been really surprised by how great Bozilla's selling has been. I mean, dating back to the Azumi match, that's the biggest shocker for her in Stardom so far. I don't know. You don't expect a big monster heel with this little experience to be this good at selling. So shout out to Bozilla, really good at selling there. She comes back though by clobbering Sayori with forearms. That leads to another forearm exchange. Sayori smartly nails her in the leg again at the end of that, but then gets caught in midair by Bozilla when going for a Rana. She turns that into a Boston Crab. She kind of lets her out of it so she can just slam her and hit this enormous standing senton. That gets a 2 count. Sayori, though, leaps onto Bozilla's back with a rear naked choke and eventually brings her all the way back down to the mat with it. Bozilla starts standing back up before the 10-minute call and then just slams down onto her back to finally break the choke. She goes for a last ride style powerbomb, but Sayori gets the sunset flip out of that for a close near fall. Then she gets the potato ring and just can't quite hold the bridge. Bozilla just barely manages to flatten herself out and avoid getting pinned. Great near fall there. She takes Sayori's head off with a lariat, but Sayori no-sells it, drop kicks her in the leg, and then somehow fucking German suplexes her to the crowd. Fucking goes nuts for her. Bozilla no-sells it, though, gets her own huge release German, dropping poor Sayori right in her head. What else is new there? And then Sayori's just doing this great job selling that she's out on the mat, and that leaves both women down just to get the 3-minute call. With 2 minutes remaining, Bozilla goes up and tries for the Vader Bomb, but Sayori dodges it, and then ties Bozilla up with the, I don't remember what it's called, that combination leg and arm hold she does, where she hooks the leg and then goes for the cross arm breaker. So Bozilla is trying desperately to hold her hands together as we get the 1-minute call, and she just as Sayori finally gets the arm fully extended, Bozilla makes the ropes. 30 seconds left. Sayori runs into another Bozilla lariat. Bozilla hits this huge sit-out powerbomb that she'd been looking for earlier. But the bell rings for the time limit draw just as the referee is counting the pin. So we'll never know. She was like on 2, and we'll never know if Sayori, actually would have kicked out or not. So amazing timing there on the finish. Bozilla throws a total fit afterward. She nails the ref, and she's throwing chairs around. But she's still undefeated here. She's 2-0-2 now. So she has 6 points, while Sayori is 2-1-1 with 5 points. But yeah, absolutely fucking rocked. Sayori continues to have an absolutely amazing tournament, and Bozilla 2 for 2 in Cork and Hall singles matches too after that awesome match with Azumi. So 4.25 for this awesome match. Next up, the match of the night. Speaking of people who are 2 for 2 at Korakuen, Azumi defeats Rina in 11:50 with the Azumi Sushi. So Rina goes right at Azumi with a drop kick before the bell. Wouldn't even let her get her fucking Cybercat jacket off or whatever that thing is. Hits this really vicious big boot as well. It was Barb Sasaki getting spit on for a change by Rina, not Daichi. So Rina basically was not selling for Azumi early, like she kept absorbing all of Azumi's shots, and Rina just does. I've talked about this before, but she does such a great job, like standing there and walking forward and just no selling, and it helps that she's like kind of a not like, I wouldn't call her thick, but like a thicker and a little taller girl than some of the other girls in the roster. So she does a really good job just like taking these blows. But so Azumi basically like slides out of the ring, the Azumi slide that you've all seen her do. She slides out, pulls Azumi out, and then fucking cracks her in the face with this kick right to the face. I don't know why I said it like that, but I just liked how Azumi was almost like, you know what? Then fucking no sell that bitch. Like that's what it felt like. So that was really cool. Rina and Azumi were going just a mile a minute, as you probably expect. Really high speed stuff here. Too fast for me to really even do play-by-play for again. Azumi hit a top rope arm drag on Rina. Rina blocked a kick from her and hit a Northern Light suplex before getting the octopus hold locked in. She seemed really extra fired up here too. Azumi did make the ropes after a struggle. Rina hit a pair of brutal-looking double knees off the ropes. I believe the first off the second rope and the second one off the top rope. That got her a 2 count. Azumi, though, gets Rina in these truly gross-looking arm locks, the way she does them, almost like Zack Sabre Jr. style, where she's like really pulling back on the arm. There's probably a technical term for that, but I don't know. But it just looks really gross. Rina keeps slipping out, and Azumi just keeps reapplying it. And every time she slips out, Rina finally manages to roll away, only to eat a kick right to the face. Azumi steps right over her, like literally on her, heads up top and hits the top rope double stomp for a 2 count. Rina comes back with the grounded octopus hold, just as we get the 10-minute call. Azumi reverses it into a pin attempt for a 2 count, then gets Azumi Sushi for a super close near fall. Rina gets her own jackknife pin attempt for a 2 count, then runs right into a roundhouse kick to the head from Azumi. She no-sells it though, then kicks out at 1 from a high-speed German suplex hold. She hits some kind of wacky, like a flip driver. I don't know how to describe this move. But Azumi kicks out of that at 1 as well. And it's like, holy fuck, at this point, they just keep the 1 count kick outs. It's just so great here. Rina just destroys Azumi with a running knee to the face. Like, really nails her with it. Tries for the pink devil. Azumi escapes it. Hits the Canadian Destroyer. And then gets the Azumi Sushi for the pin. Fucking awesome match here. The match just barely beats out Sayori and Bozilla for match of the night to me. Rina finally eats her first L, so she's now 4-1, while Azumi is, I believe, 3-1-1. She's now at 7 points. So 7 points for Azumi, 8 points still for Rina. 4.25. Awesome match. And then we get to the main event. So Saya Kamatani, she stays undefeated. She goes to 5-0, and she was actually the first person to punch their ticket. This is in red A. To punch her ticket into the playoffs. She will not be able to miss the playoffs now. She goes 5-0 here with the win, 11:54. The spinning Star Crusher, defeating Hanan, who is still at 5 points, so she's at now, I believe, 2-2-1. Hanan gets thrown off the top rope onto the apron pretty fucking hard early on. Like, basically, Saya cuts her off there when she was going for that crossbody she does a lot, and just slams her and back lands super hard. It was pretty cringe-inducing. Like, oh my god. Saya follows up with her own diving crossbody to the floor off the apron. She then grabs her steel chain and just fucking hangs Hanan at ringside. They both go back and forth in the ring all the way through the 5-minute call. This ended this big spinning kick from Saya looked great. That led to both girls being down. Hanan catches Saya running in and just casually dumps her all the way to the floor of the backdrop suplex. That looked great. Then this time she did hit the crossbody off the second rope to the floor. She gets that like bridging slam she does, the Hanan special. That got a 2 count back in the ring. They went back and forth some more with Saya kind of taking over, but Hanan escapes a Star Crusher attempt. She takes her down to a seated position and then gets the La Magistral Cradle. That got a very close near fall, followed by a almost like the Sonata Deadfall style, like spinning, falling DDT from Hanan. That gets another 2.9 count. Saya counters the backdrop suplex attempt with a simple headlock takeover. Very effective counter. That looked good. She then hit a hard kick to the face. She escaped the backdrop a second time, and she hit her own backdrop suplex hold for a 2 count. Hanan, though, comes back with her backdrop suplex, then a second with the bridge, the backdrop suplex hold, but Saya kicks out again, and she does this great job looking at the camera with like this eyes glazed over look, like she's, sounding like she's out. Saya escapes another attempt at the backdrop. She stomps on her gut, and then hits another gigantic kick to the face, followed up by a spinning kick. Then she pulls Hanan up at 2. That spinning, like, cyclone kick she does, I should say. But she pulls Hanan up at 2, and I'm like, oh man, is her cockiness going to come back to bite her? No, it won't. She just hits the spinning Star Crusher, and that's the pin. Hanan, who beat her last year in this tournament, I believe. She couldn't get it done this time, and Saya stays undefeated. Didn't love this quite as much as the last 2 matches, and I think I'd also put Tora and Sayaka above it too, but if this is your 4th best match of the night, you had a great show. So this is still 4 stars, still pretty awesome. And I also love, because obviously we're doing Stardom and the G1 here, the G1 is in fucking parody booking bullshit, which I feel like is even more pointless when you're sending 3 people through. Like, you should not be afraid to have somebody just dominate and go through without any fuss. And Stardom did it here. You're sending 3 people through. You can still have plenty of drama for the other 2 spots. We already know Saya's going through. She's just fucking dominant. She's the world champion. She should be dominant. So I love that they just stuck with that and had her go 5-0. She might just go 7-0, and I'd be totally fine with that. And then she'll get knocked out in the playoffs anyway. But this is exactly what you should do when you're going to send 3 people through in a block. You should have somebody be this dominant. So, great fucking show here. I blabbed about it for another fucking over 35 minutes. So, God only knows how long this show is going to be. I'm probably going to have to try to rush through some of these when we actually get to DC and get to Otakon, which we're leaving tomorrow morning on a train down to DC. So, but yeah, the stuff at home, I guess, I did go longer. But yeah, so this episode rolls on. You're going to hear from the magic of audio. We just continue talking as we'll go from the G1 show tomorrow on Thursday the 7th and night 13. So yeah, that's up next year. I'll talk to you from DC.
All right, we're back here. We're from beautiful downtown Washington, D.C. And Quinlan's back with me. Hello.
Hi.
There's 2 other people here too, actually. Felix, do you want to say hi to the Omakase listeners?
Hello.
He's not going to have much to say that he didn't watch the show. He doesn't watch wrestling in general. But yeah, so we're here in D.C. I just got here like an hour ago, I guess, right?
Sure.
Something like that. Just walked over to CVS to stock up the fridge and stuff.
You call it beautiful downtown D.C.
It's not, well, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
It's not really beautiful. It's home of a man, the man I would be second happiest to hear passed away. Lives here.
There's actually one ahead of him?
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, then
I think you gotta reverse those.
No, Vince McMahon first, and then Trump second. But yes, home of the headline I will be very happy to open up and read that he has expired. But I'm sure
he shouldn't have too much time left. Like the way he's doing now.
I know he has like that. What's it called? The Trump, the vein stuff or whatever.
Yeah. And the way Vince McMahon is driving at his age.
Did he get that car accident the same day that Hulk Hogan died?
Apparently he was driving like a maniac.
Well, that was like some Final Destination shit.
Yeah.
It's like it was coming for both of them and only got one, so now he's gonna...
Maybe he had a vision, like Final Destination. I don't know.
But isn't the whole point... I've never seen these movies, but isn't the whole point that it's gonna get you no matter what?
Yes.
Yeah, so eventually it's gonna get him.
Well... It's not. I'm not sure if it's canon or not, but there might have been 2 survivors from the second movie. But whether the canon or not is true. But yeah,
probably not, because I get the sense that in those movies death takes them personal.
Yeah,
No,
it's sort of
death,
the idea, I think. Yeah.
And that was kind of the comedy in the newest movie where,
By the way, I think the air in here is really loud. I did try to test recording it. It didn't sound that loud to me, but if it is coming through louder than I thought, I apologize.
Can't there was some way for you to turn it down.
Well, I don't want to sweat to death. Yeah, I mean, so we're here to talk about a New Japan show. We continue our week-long coverage. Obviously, you've already heard me talk about this show from Tuesday and then the Stardom show from yesterday. You should watch that. First of all, besides it was awesome, it had English commentary.
Okay.
Walker Stewart called the whole show. Rocky Romero joined in for the semi-main, and he was like, I didn't like him there because it's like he's probably scouting for AEW. But he's like, I'm here to support the strong women's champion. Like, stay away from her. Get a job.
John, out of the two wrestling companies, two big wrestling companies in America, there's one you should be criticizing right now. So,
can go get your stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so we're here to talk about the New Japan show, though. People already heard me talk all about the Stardom show, which was great. But yeah, the New Japan show from Corkin Hall on Thursday, August 7th. This man is very loud. Thursday, August 7th. Had 5 A-block matches. I mean, this was like, there were 3 great matches here, and I thought this was finally the show where, like, the house people had a point. Like, these 2 house matches were pretty fucking not good.
They were fucking awful.
They were. I liked a lot. We're talking about each one, but yeah. And I was also very annoyed by the result of one of the matches that was great. But anyway, that's the first.
I knew the result was coming. I just thought the finish could have been done better. But
so
we're about to let's get started. I'm assuming we're talking about the same one.
Yeah. So Callum Newman defeated Taichi in 12:50 with the Princess Curse. That officially eliminated Taichi. So he's now 3-5 for 6 points. Callum Newman's now 4-4 for 8 points. I guess he's still alive. I don't even understand the A-block scenarios. There's like almost no scenario where Evil doesn't go through, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, there's like one scenario where it doesn't go through. Like, he could even lose to Tanahashi, and he would still go through in a lot of scenarios. But yeah, this match was awesome. It was just the result really pissed me off. It's like, why are you eliminating the best wrestler in the tournament and also one of the most popular of the second to last block night? He couldn't even make it the last block night, still alive.
And why is he losing to the same guy? I thought he might win because, he lost to him, and it's like, but then...
And Callum was selling like his debilitating back injury, which I thought was going to be his excuse.
And, I mean, towards the end of the match, I thought, okay, Callum's probably going over, but there was a spot at the end where Taichi's like, hit me, and Callum hit him, and then, I forget what he hit him with. What did he... But then he patted him on the back, like, you're a dork, but you did put him... And I thought, okay, Taichi's going to get one more hope spot. Callum will probably still win, but Taichi won't go out like that with this young kid's being like, yeah, you fucking dork, well, I'm going to win now. But no, then he just hit the move and won. The story is, you Taichi fans, Taichi's a fucking geek. He didn't belong here. Callum Newman, who is not the one, I'll just say that, even he couldn't, he beat him twice, and Taichi's just a fucking dork. And the other guy, and his partner, who's the other half of the tag champions, couldn't even make it into the tournament either. So I guess the tag titles are just, they don't matter.
They're going to lose the Eagles.
I mean, I'm sure they will.
But yeah,
I feel like he should have gotten one more hope spot after that.
Probably.
It would have been okay.
I mean, they were going, so we'll go through this. I think they were going for like, he's done, he's really done now kind of thing. But like, I don't know. It's like, all the old guys, Gato insists on pushing. He can't push the best one, who also he's never really pushed. Like, at least he'd be fresh. But anyway. But yeah, it started with Callum offering Taichi a handshake. He immediately hit a forearm to the face. They started trading leg kicks and then boots to the face, and then they started throwing middle kicks to each other's chest. Taichi did stun Callum with a spinning back kick to the gut. He finally put him down with one last middle kick, but then Callum ducked a Taichi kick to the head, just rocked him with a huge elbow as I pantomimed to Quinlan again for nobody. I can't not do that when I'm reporting with somebody else in the room. It's funny. Taichi, though, eventually does get the big high kick when Callum charged in the corner. He really nailed it with it, too. Like, I don't know if you remember that. He was charging the corner and just wiped out the high kick. This is another reason why I thought Taichi was winning. Callum pulled the fucking pants off him. He literally pulled... When has anyone ever done that?
Wait, literal...
Like, literal... Because Taichi has these tearaway pants, so he pulled them... Usually
he has tights underneath.
Yeah, usually he tears them away himself, and Callum did it, disrespected him, and then spit right in his face, So Taichi just like elbowed him hard right in the face and pulled some of his back tape off, which I thought was a good, like, you want to pull my pants off? I'm going to pull your tape off. Hit this soccer ball kick. So Callum, the whole idea was he was already hobbled going in, which is the other reason why I thought he was going to lose. I thought that was going to be his excuse. And, you know, he was selling the back really well. I mean, that did help the match a lot. But yeah, Taichi hit a backdrop suplex for a 2 count. Callum reversed the standing lariat. Taichi does the burning lariat. But he couldn't lift Taichi for a suplex because of his back. He did get Taichi with his hard elbow to the gut. And that, I guess, led to Taichi starting to sell his gut. He followed up with the top rope double stomp, but he couldn't cover right away, so he got a 2 count. Taichi came back with a big axe bomber. And now, like I said, he was selling his midsection. He did hit the enormous standing lariat for a 2 count. And Callum was like, this is where Callum was like, suddenly he was done. Remember? Mm-hmm. He like defiantly spit at Taichi one more time and then collapsed. And Taichi hit this, again, ridiculously hard soccer ball kick. But Callum escaped the backdrop suplex and just barely managed to hit another standing double stomp. Then a running knee and a poison rana. He got the Prince's Curse. He was super slow trying to go over, and Taichi wouldn't stay down. He just sat back up. He was like, still fighting spirit. And I thought, okay, he's going to survive. The crowd was chanting for him super loudly, too, when he was doing that. And he spit in Callum defiantly, but then Callum just gave him the comment, go away, another Prince's Curse, and got the pin. So, yeah, it was a fucking downer of an
After
ending.
patting him on the back.
Yeah.
Like saying, you dork, you tried.
I thought it was supposed to be more like, good try, buddy. But,
that's not awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate they eliminated the best wrestler in the tournament on the penultimate night, but whatever.
I thought that you should have a spot where he was a little too cocky, Callum, and Taichi was able to reverse it, get one more hope spot, and then Callum wins. But,
still in 4 stars, though. Still great. He did it. Finished one. The second A block match, Evil beating Bolton Oleg in 9:44 to Evil. So Dick Togo attacked Bolton from behind during his entrance. All 3 of them, including Don Fowler, were beating him up in the ring before the referee would ring the bell. We got the dick-to-dick contact, but the Walker refused to call him. He was so outraged. Evil went for the Darkness Scorpion immediately after the bell rang. Bolton made the ropes. Evil was kind of eating Bolton on the ringside. Bolton, though, hit a big shoulder block back in the ring, but he got tripped up by Fale from the outside. Evil, though, took him all the way up into the orange seats. He tried to suplex him up there or Dick Togo's help, but Bolton escaped and knocked them both down over hitting an enormously hard chop on Evil. Then he gave him the Bolton shake up there, which was kind of cool. And he carried Dick on his shoulders while grabbing Evil by his hair. They were calling this on the commentary. Why the fuck would he carry Dick Togo back to the ringside with him? They kind of made Bolton look like an idiot in this match. I'm like, let me carry the man who's trying to interfere back to the ring. So he didn't interfere.
It wasn't like this.
Bolton then took Fale out also. He said departed the ring ringside. It looked like he smashed him right into some poor woman's stage in the front row. I was like, I hope that woman's hurt. Evil came back with some hard elbows. He ran right into Bolton's arms and ate a huge F5. Evil grabbed Marty to avoid the kamikaze. Bolton charged in the corner with Marty behind Evil and crushed him like a total idiot. Why did he charge Evil with Marty right behind him? Was that your complaint?
No.
Well, what the hell's your complaint then?
Well, they put him through a fucking table.
Yeah.
So, and then they sent the ref out.
Yeah, Fowler
so they were watching.
The table. Yeah. Well, they always do that.
No, that's
not even
stupid.
just handle. That's every promotion.
I know. And when it happens in other promotions, you freak out.
Yeah.
And what happens here?
It was pretty stupid.
Okay, so what has happened is the staff in the back, like, wearing earplugs and fucking blindfolds until someone, like, taps them on the shoulder and say there's need a new ref. Like, Walker Stewart, so you can only call what you saw in the ring. Well, they don't have monitors backstage?
Well,
he's not the
ref of the match yet.
Fuck.
I don't know.
No, this makes no fucking sense.
But yeah, so Fowler Sam.
And then he puts him through a fucking table, the ref walks in and, alright.
Evil gives him the pin, yeah.
That was so goddamn fucking stupid.
Evil's had some very entertaining matches in this tournament. This was not one.
This was fucking horrible.
I went 2.5. I didn't think it was that horrible.
This was so stupid. And then they did it 2 matches in a row.
The next match I thought was horrible. This I thought was like...
I thought this one was a little less dumb.
2.5.
Doesn't say much.
2.5 stars. Next match, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeats Sonata in 2:48 with a roll-up. So Sonata, the Sonata fashion outfit... First of all, he came up the lobby stairs, first of all. Why did he do that? I was like, why is he coming up to the lobby? That was kind of weird. Yeah, maybe he was having a cigarette in the Corking smoking room. They got it reopened just for him.
Maybe you want to get his steps in.
So he had some kind of like wacky, like black and orange jumpsuit and had like white stripes on it or something. I don't know.
He's just a rebel. He walks in the wrong way. He wears strange outfits. He's the real rebel.
The real rebel? No, that's Ozawa.
That's he's the other real rebel.
The other real rebel. So Tana got the sling blade very early. Sonata. Okay, Tana looked like he was going to fall off the top rope anyway. And then Sonata shoved the ref into the ropes.
Was that him just selling early, or was that him really about to fall?
I looked like he was really about to fall. He ate shit on the fall too, which I did not think he did on purpose. Like he really his foot hurt. I'm realizing too. You know what? Nicole going hog on the controller probably is coming in on the mic too. Because she's going crazy on Genshin Impact right now, casting spells or whatever the fuck she does.
Not louder than your voice though. So
no, I would hope not. Sonata. I didn't even write down how the ref got bumped. What happened?
I saw that and said another fucking ref bump 2 matches in a row. I just put my head down and said, okay.
So yeah,
I think maybe Tanahashi should go for a dive in the corner and Sonata moved out of the way.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
So Sonata picked up the guitar. He starts playing it first of all because that was funny because Tanahashi plays air guitar, and then he hits him with the guitar. But then Tanahashi just rolls him up anyway.
Who did Sonata hit with half guitar recently? MD?
Good question.
Was it a Wii?
No. It might have been a Wii, yeah.
So he loses to half a guitar.
But Tanahashi
takes a whole guitar and is able to win right after.
Yeah. This match fucking sucks.
When I saw that, so did the guitar not? He hits him with the guitar, and then Tanahashi goes, "Yeah, but it doesn't affect me," and rolls him up and wins. So it was
his guitar privilege.
And only went under 3 minutes and
1.5 stars. This sucks.
Couldn't he just duck the guitar and then roll Sonata up?
That would have been.
And he gave and also the roll up was fucking. Was it if it made me think back to that Owen Hart Austin SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
Be like, maybe that wasn't so bad. It was a horrendous roll up. It was really bad.
Well, do guitars follow the rule of the conservation of ninjutsu?
Of what?
It's the rule of the fewer ninja there are, the stronger they are.
So maybe if it's only half guitar, that half guitar gets stronger. That's maybe that's what they're trying to say. Because half the guitar got broken in another match, and it killed a guy, and he was down for a few minutes before Sonata pinned him.
Felix is talking more than I thought. I'm gonna have to give him co-guest credit.
Sure.
I'll be with Quinlan, Felix, and Nicole's controller.
And the guy who dropped off the towel.
And the guy who dropped off the towel. That's true.
And the air conditioner.
Match number 8, I guess, the fourth G1 match.
Show started good.
Kala Taichi was awesome.
I was so upset about the film.
I was mad too, but you gotta be a little objective. I mean, Siriano loses matches, I still give him good ratings. I mean,
Did you throw your computer across the room and Naito lost, or was that something you wanted to do at the Tokyo Dome?
Did I throw my computer?
I think you said you didn't, but you almost did.
Oh, yeah.
That one Tokyo Dome, I think it must have been 2018, because it was right after we said
I still gave the match 4.5. See, I'm objective. You remember defeated not objective. 1823 with the deadbolt suplex. I mean, look, this match was great. It was awesome. I saw people saying match of the tournament. I didn't really think it was.
I wasn't that good, but it was match of the night.
I will say match of the night. And I mean, I like the other two a lot too. I gave them all the same rating. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't get match of the tournament out of this. Maybe it was I ended up watching it on a fucking train going down to DC.
Yeah, same. I was watching on a train with kids screaming next to me and train conductors walking by screaming about how they need to scan their tickets. And I'm that was happening during the climax.
Whoa. So let's talk about the train for a second. First of all, they're supposed to put a little fucking thing on your seat when they scan your ticket so they know who the fuck they scanned, who they didn't. Today they were just okay, we're not going to do that. We're just going to walk around and scream, if you haven't fucking shown us a ticket, show us a ticket.
One person did that. One person just walked by.
He actually tapped me. He tapped me on the arm. He was like, when I'm in the middle of watching this fucking match, my headphones on, I looked up, I'm like, what? He's like, did you hear me? I said I wanted to take your ticket. I'm like, yeah, it's my ticket in New York. And I was like, geez, what the fuck are they doing?
The guy walking by me would just walk by and say, very quietly. The other person, the woman, would scream it like 3 times as she's walking. Take it to I'm like, okay.
I'm like,
and I kept thinking, isn't there a simpler system?
Or something?
yeah, the stub is what they fucking used to do every year.
Someone could have. I sat there thinking, I probably could have just really gotten on here without paying anything. And just said, yeah, I think it got scanned. I'm like, okay. So somehow we found a way to make this dumber.
I should have done that and, save like $100 plus $160.
I mean, in theory, you could have. I don't know.
Mine was like 30.
They used to find a way. I kept thinking, didn't they have a way of knowing?
Yeah, the fucking stub.
And they said no.
The little fucking stub they put up on the thing.
Well, maybe they didn't want to make those anymore to save money, but now they'll lose money fucking.
So there is no
figuring out they can just get on for free.
There's no more appropriate thing than taking Amtrak to an anime convention because it's like, oh yes, I am correct to revere Japan after experiencing American train travel.
And this was actually a lot better than New Jersey Transit, despite all its problems.
That is true.
The train got there on time. The only real problem we got is they had to wait for a track to open when we got there.
Yeah, we still took fucking 15
with New
minutes.
Jersey Transit, I know this.
Yes.
Most people probably listening to this don't know, never. Unless you live in New Jersey, you wouldn't take New Jersey Transit. You might not be going in the right direction when you get on the train. You might not. It may tell you on halfway. By the way, we're going here.
Not halfway. Okay.
Oh no! Right after they close
the worst
the doors.
one was a few months ago. So South Amboy, they picked me up. It's supposed to be an express, remember? So it skips a bunch of stops.
To New York.
They picked to New York. So I'm going home from my dad's to New York. The doors closed. I sit down. Announcer comes on. By the way, we're going to stop at Woodbridge, and then that's the end of the train. You have to get off.
Because
goodbye.
I forget why the tracks.
And I'm like, you couldn't fucking say that before the fucking train doors closed.
Welcome. You're going to Woodbridge. You're gonna fucking like it.
Like,
see ya.
I could have just gotten off the train and gotten back in your car and gone back to my dad's. Instead, you had to drive.
I had to drive all the way to fucking Woodbridge.
Like 40 minutes to come pick me up.
The solution there was that there'll be a bus coming every hour. The bus is usually full and could fit like one person when there was a crowd of like 100, like 300 people, and every hour one person get on a fucking bus.
Oh my god.
And then every 6 months they fucking increase the price.
Yeah, so they just did it again.
And they get dumber every 6 months. They get worse. Fucking New Jersey Transit.
We both love New Jersey Transit, everybody. This past weekend, coming back with my dad, had a 40-minute delay because they had to arrest some guy for not paying the fare. And guess what? They never did. They never took my ticket, so I didn't pay the fucking fare either.
Well, don't say that. They're going to shut down New Jersey Transit to come to DC to find you. I want to, since we're on this subject, I
can keep that ticket for next time.
I want to tell the story real quick.
Yeah.
This is the story that always defined New Jersey Transit to me.
Okay.
Got on a train once. I remember something happened on the tracks. I don't remember. They had to combine our train with another train.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend who was in the train in front of us who got on our train.
Yeah. Oh, I think I remember this.
But anyway, so we're on the train and they say, okay, because of all the complications, we are no longer stopping. John knows where this is going. At Newark Airport. This train was supposed to stop at Newark Airport.
Keep in mind, fucking Newark Airport. People have to get on a fucking plane.
Yeah.
So that's not a fucking stop we should be ever skipping.
No longer be stopping at Newark Airport. If you are stopping at Newark Airport, you have to get off at the next stop and transfer. You must get off and transfer. We are not stopping at Newark Airport. Repeat. We are not stopping in. I keep saying it because they said it like 20 fucking times.
And people got off, right?
Yeah, people. We are not stopping at Newark Airport. If you have to get off, we are not stopping. Then someone else got on and said, just to repeat, we are not stopping at Newark Airport. This train will not be stopping at Newark Airport. Get off. We're not stopping at Newark Airport. 5 minutes go by, hear someone say, we are stopping at Newark Airport next. I was like, okay, fucking, okay. You fucking screamed at me like I'm an idiot. Well, I'm not even getting off at that stop anyway, but they said it like 30 fucking times, and another person come on and say 20, and then say, oh, you know what? JK, we are going, so next. Okay. Like,
30 minutes, we're not stopping at Newark Airport. Yeah, we are stopping at Newark Airport next. Everybody who's wanted to stop there to get off the train because I fucking yelled for the last 30 minutes that we're not stopping there. But we're stopping there. So. Yeah. So, train travel in Japan, a little better.
A little better.
I will say, a friend of the show, Paul Bosch, from the Emerald Float Show, he claimed me. He's been to America and seen American trains. He claims to be German trains are worse. I want to be like, how is that even possible? Do the trains explode when you get on them?
Like, are there zombies on the train?
Like, what is
wild animals?
How can you be worse than America?
It can't be.
Like, that's not possible.
Well, for me, it's just like, well, trains across America can be pretty bad. New Jersey Transit is on another level.
New Jersey Transit is the worst.
And on top of all that, they keep increasing the prices.
Like, the Metro North is nowhere near as bad.
Yeah.
Amtrak's nowhere near as bad. I mean, Amtrak sucks, but I've had lots of delays on them. But
But the World Cup next year, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, but New Jersey Transit. Oh, remember, it stranded everybody for WrestleMania. Right?
And for the Super Bowl.
And the Super Bowl.
Both years they said, both the NFL and WWE said...
One of my friends waited 2 hours for Uber after that show.
And a lot of people did. Yeah. That New Jersey Transit told them they'd stay open late. With both these incidents, New Jersey Transit said, "Oh, we never promised them that." And now that's happened twice. Everyone's like, "Nah, I think it's you guys. I think you're lazy and just go home." And then
they're like, fuck
leave all these people stranded at the Super Bowl and at fucking WrestleMania.
Well, World Cup is going to be empty cockpits. Good luck
with people who are used to from Europe train systems that apparently in Germany they don't.
Except true.
I need to see that with my own eyes.
France and Spain were not Japan level, but they were a lot better than America. Where the fuck were you again?
Anyway.
That was a funny tangent though. So there was some nice chain wrestling to start. There was just like one massive arm drag where they were both struggling for it in midair. So they were spinning around in midair before they landed. And again, I'm pantomiming for Quinlan. But yeah, they landed on the mat with Yuya on top. But it was they both won for the same time. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff I've never seen before in this match. A lot of interesting technical mat wrestling. They were great together. You could tell they trained at some point together. I know Uemura I think was ahead of him in the class, right?
A year ahead.
But they must have done some training in the dojo together.
They were in the dojo.
They were really comfortable.
They could fucking walk in the dojo tomorrow and train together.
I know, but I mean coming up training together, they must have done some point.
But yeah, so Oyo was controlling him with a side headlock. Yuya wasn't able to break it, after hitting a backdrop suplex. He did finally get out of it. He hit some really hard chops in the corner. But then Oyo switched to a cravat. So he had the Chris Hero special on the cravat. He kept reapplying every time Yuya got out of it. And he even kept it on through a snapmare. Excuse me. They did some more mat wrestling that ended up with Yuya the head scissors. Yuya had to go to the ropes to break that. So eventually Oyo hit him with the Chaos Theory German for a 2 count. And it was a great finishing sequence. Corbin was going crazy. Oiwa nailed Yuya with a short arm lariat, but as he's going for the grep, which doesn't always lend itself to the best finishing sequences in this tournament, I thought. But here it was great. Yuya caught his arm and sort of sidestepped it and caught his arm, flipped him right over into the deadbolt, and that got the pin. That was awesome. I feel like I actually did underrate this game before. Maybe I should rewatch it. Not on the
I think it's above 4.
Okay. But 4 stars when I gave it, so should probably rewatch it now on the train, but whatever. Main event. This ended up being one of those matches I gave 4 and was a little disappointing still because I loved their match at the Tokyo Dome.
I like this better than the match.
Really? Yeah. I thought the Tokyo Dome match was way better.
I mean, I was there live, and I don't know if that makes a difference, but it just felt like it just dragged, and this never felt like it dragged.
Okay.
But it was a clean, crisp 15 minutes. But yeah, I thought this match was great.
I never thought the Tokyo Dome match was great.
I think Finley's having a great G1.
Glad you're coming around that one. David Finley beat Yoda-Tsuji in 15-21 with the overkill. This guy was one of the last Finley holdouts. Now it's just Adam Summers, I guess.
I just mostly thought it was his heel work, but he's not really a heel anymore. He's like less than a heel. He's like a tweener, and I feel like I didn't like him as a heel, but I like him better as a tweener.
I did like he still acts like heelish in some of his matches. And when he eats shit as a heel, it was really good.
His big feud is with the Ultimate Heels right now.
He was taunting Tsuji at one point. He was giving him these cross faces, and he was like, "Where's that smile now, huh?" I thought that was pretty good. The problem I have with this match is I thought the first 10 minutes was a little boring, so maybe that's why I didn't really love it compared to the Tokyo Dome match. But the fucking, and we thought it was hard, which is a little, but the end of it was amazing. So you got this really nice lariat from Finley at the end of the straight exchange. Tsuji took this awesome spinning bump for it too, just spinning on the way down to the mat. Again, why did I keep paying him?
I don't know.
Just for you.
It's a good video.
Finley, he countered the Marlowe crash by powerbombing out of midair. That looked awesome. Like Tsuji, he goes to jump, do it again.
Crushed that Marlowe crash, like he crushed those Marlowe cans, whatever that. Didn't Tsuji give him Marlowe?
Yeah.
And he crushed them.
He's being very disrespectful.
I'm surprised the announcers didn't even bring that up during this match.
Maybe they did. See, Walker, if you're listening, Quinlan's calling
No, I think he might have early. I think he might have brought it up during the entrances. I don't remember.
But yeah, Finley, like I said, powerbomb over there. That looked awesome. He hit another big powerbomb for a 2 count, but Tsuji blocked the overkill, did his own powerbomb. Then he went for the buckle bomb. This is the only part of the closing stretch that didn't look great. Like, it looked a little bit of a low impact power bomb on the turnbuckle bomb. But Finlay hit his own much nicer buckle bomb, so whatever. Tsuji no-sold it though. He tried the Gene Blast, but Finlay caught him right in the small package. That was awesome. Like, he rolled right through it. Looks great. That got a 2 count. He hit Tsuji with a gun stun. He tried for overkill again, but Tsuji rolled him up out of it. Then he tried Gene Blast again, but Finlay just stuffed him, and he hit into Oblivion for a 2 count. Just an amazing sequence there. Finlay hit his own Marlowe crash. I think he might have. They said on Power too, that might look better than Tsuji's. That got a 2 count, just for the 15-minute call. And Tsuji landed behind Finlay when he went for overkill, but he ran right into an enormous knee, and Finlay got overkill on the second try, and that got like the 4th try. Finishing stretch was amazing, but like I said, it was a little too boring before that, so I went 4 stars. Great match. I'd say I put it third. I think I put Taichi Kawam second, and Yuya Oiwa.
I put it second.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is a pretty damn good show besides the house stuff.
I'm worried that this is Tsuji and 8. I'm worried it's not good. I feel like.
Well, we're going to find out in this episode. So I don't have to go through all the scenarios because the Sunday episode is going to. Like, the Sunday show is going to be on this episode.
I guess so. Myself in the future in like 20 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. Well, longer than that because we got the Friday B-Block show to record next, and then I have two Stardom shows to record, I think. The Friday at midnight and the Saturday at midnight. So, yeah. I mean, you're welcome to do that with me too if you want to stay up and watch it.
If I'm like not too far, then I may want to go back to the con. We'll see.
Okay. So yeah, folks, I mean, for you guys, nothing will change. You'll hear me again in a second, or hear us in a second, I guess, for the Friday G1 show. So that is what's up next. So just hang on a second. We'll talk to you again in a second.
All right, so we're back here. Now, continue our running vlog here from DC again on Friday, August 8th for New Japan Night 14. First of all, I want to say, the last segment that we did, which was some great audio, I thought, unfortunately that fan was very loud, the air conditioner.
Oh.
And so I apologize if you have to hear that.
My name is Amanda. I work with women who are trying to quit smoking. And I have some tips for you in case you're pregnant or thinking about having a baby. First thing is, keep trying to quit. Or better yet, don't start smoking. It can cause premature birth, which can then increase the risk of your baby having developmental delays, problems with eyesight, breathing, and more. So don't give up. There are people like me who are here to support you, because I know what can happen if you don't quit. Your baby could be born 2 months early and weigh only 3 pounds. She could be in the NICU for almost a month, put in an incubator and fed through a feeding tube that goes through her nose down into her little stomach. I know that because I smoked while I was pregnant, and that's what happened to my little baby. I quit. You can too.
Quit your way. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN now or visit tobaccofreeflorida.com. Developed by CDC.
If you're listening to that and thought it was loud, keep in mind that was after I went in and did a little fancy. It sounded better after I did this, but I did they have like a noise reduction thing on Audacity you can do. Mm-hmm. So it originally was much louder. So if you listened to that and thought it was loud just now, trust me, it was much louder. I don't know why it didn't sound loud to me when I did the test, but maybe it hadn't kicked all the way in or something. Because then, when I listened back to what we recorded, it sounded really loud. So apologize for that. Anyway, this fucking show fucking sucked. This was the worst thing in the G1 by a mile. The people who think B Block is better than A need to get their fucking heads examined. And I can't bury this show enough. This show fucking sucked. You're like sitting here hanging your head like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't been to the fucking con yet. We got up because there was a lot of stuff I want to do later in the day at Otakon. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch the show first, and then we'll review it on the podcast, and then I'll take a shower and head out. And it's like, I don't know, 12:15 p.m. now, and it's like, wow, I feel like I wasted my fucking time when I could have been at the convention because this fucking show sucked. I mean, this show was so fucking horrible.
I missed some panels I wanted to see. There was one good match.
A 3.5-star match did not make up for the rest of this fucking card. And what I would say, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I wish honest to God, I was sitting here thinking I'd rather be watching the 5-star by a million miles. I mean, how one company can own two promotions with exact opposite vibes at the moment, I have no idea. I mean, that 5-star show you watched wasn't a million times better than this?
Yeah, it was.
So...
Well, this show was all taken down by
and
the first G1 match.
That was not even one of the better 5-star shows. But there were 2 matches on this show that were pretty bad. I mean, especially given how long the fucking... I mean, the main wasn't horrible.
Was horrible too.
I didn't even say it was that bad. All right, but let's talk about the one we agree on, because, oh my God, this fucking match. El Phantasmo defeats Yoshihashi
I don't know what the fuck happened.
12 minutes and 30 seconds. Look, I've been softening on ALP before this. I've put over some of his matches. He had a great match. He had a horrible start to the tournament, I thought. Then he had a great match with Zach. He had a great match with somebody else.
He had a great match with Drilla, I thought.
Drilla. That was like a 5-minute match that I thought was like 4 stars. That match was so great. It was so much fun. All action. He fucking wrestled this match like he was drunk. Honest to God, he wrestled this match like he was drunk. I mean, he was back in like the total unimpressive looking high flying, just doing it over and over again. These planches that looked unimpressive and these dives in the ring looked unimpressive. At the most baffling spot in the match, he gets up on the top rope. He does a moonsault to the outside. Yoshihashi's like fucking 50 feet away. There's no way he didn't move out of the way before he did that moonsault. He's so fucking far.
He just lands.
And
they just get back in the ring and keep wrestling.
It doesn't even lead to anything!
It felt like... I've been thinking about it. If anyone's listening has ever seen the movie Tenet or something, it feels like one of them was going forward through time, one of them was going backwards through time, and they didn't match up. It was so... I'm like, what? That spot was so fucking weird.
Nicole, like, sitting here playing Genshin Impact or watching the reels or whatever, sitting here listening to us bury this show. She must have just been like, why do you guys watch this then? Was that your vibe? Nicole, she's just looking at me shaking her head. Is it annoying to listen to 2 people bury a show this much?
No.
Okay. She don't care.
But
trying to get her involved, but she's playing Genshin Impact.
I mean, I just don't know what you want me to say. I assume there's going to be bad nights sometimes and you're going to bury a show. I mean, if all you're doing is burying New Japan, you know what my answer for that is.
That's true. The A block is
take
good.
a break. But like a show or whatever, that's normal to me.
I guess.
I mean, there's things I don't like Genshin Impact.
But yeah, I don't know. This show is such fucking dog shit.
ELP's selling.
Yeah. So he takes this chop, okay, and his eyes start bugging out.
His mouth goes
his mouth is like wide open. He's like sucking for air like a fish or something.
Like he's gonna puke or something. It was like,
I'm like,
really
what is
weird.
this sound like? You compared to The Room.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the acting was that bad. It was more like Faithful Findings or a Neil Breen film, but it was like way over. Like I kept thinking he was like he was out of it or something.
The Room actually makes sense to me because remember that scene? The Room, people don't know. It's a movie. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up at this point. It's
enough
ancient
people
history.
know about it.
But so there's this. It's a time or so movie. But so there's this guy. Remember that guy with like the brown hair who has the girlfriend, and they go in.
Mike.
Yeah. So they go. They just show up to make.
I guess
out
that
sometimes.
scene, yeah.
And
in
then,
the other character's house, and
nobody knows what the point
and Johnny,
is.
yeah.
But so
and he
there's
tells
a scene,
Johnny, and Johnny doesn't care.
There's a scene like where he turns around and trips on the ground when they're playing football.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what ELP looked like. He looked like Mike or whatever the fuck. He like turned around, tripped like,
maybe this is the match for Atomic Piece. That was Tommy Wiseau's favorite scene in the film. So maybe this is what. Maybe he loved this match. I don't know.
What the what was this?
Yeah.
There's another point where he like takes a form from Yoshihashi
and he just goes and falls to the ground. And it was reminding me of like that Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan SummerSlam match. And I was like, what is going on here? Like ELP was like. He was like out of it or something. It was really strange. He was acting very strange.
Like he was hungover or something, I think.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because he meant to be hungover on commentary the other night. I mean, God bless him. I drank a lot last night. I'm not.
Maybe that's what happened.
But like, we polished off that.
There was a lot of weird shit going on in this match, and it was the worst match in the tournament by like.
Yeah. Worse than every House of Torture match. So I don't want to hear from the House of Torture people again.
That Olden bow leg. Evil match was really fucking bad.
Nowhere, not even close to this. 1 star for this match. This was fucking horrible. 1 star might even be generous. But ELP won with his fucking Thunderbird, whatever the fuck.
Let's go on to the only good match of the show.
No, there were 2 good matches. I thought Shingo Naruto was pretty good. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Drilla Mill, although I was spending a lot of it looking at Suri's hoodie, so. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Drilla Maloney at 14:01. Drilla did this basically it started very slow. They were like feeling each other out, and I was impressed with Drilla's mat wrestling.
Yeah,
I didn't really.
He was good. He was really good.
I didn't know he could do that, honestly. He did this little kip up out of the head scissors early on that you were comparing to Austin Aries when we were watching it, but he didn't do the drop. He just did the.
They both did a spot like that. Yeah.
We got a long knuckle lock. The pace on this was definitely slow to start. I like the mat wrestling though. It's not like this was every fucking match on the show was really weirdly slowly paced. It felt like, and this was the only one where it actually kind of worked.
It worked for its advantage. Yeah.
We got some striking. Drilla put Zack down with an elbow, although the elbow didn't look that stiff or anything. Zack ended up, in the interest of keeping this short, Zack ended up tapping Drilla out with an armbar. Good match, not great or anything, but compared to the rest to the other fucking pile of shit we just watched, it felt like the match of the year. So 3.5 stars. I thought good match. Why did you think it was better than that?
No, that's fair.
The next match, Shingo Takagi defeated Ren Narita in 17-10 Last of the Dragon. I didn't think this was that bad.
I fucking hit my with the House's torture bullshit. I can't anymore.
I know, everybody's very tired.
So, every wrestler in this tournament is a fucking moron when it comes to wrestling Ren Narita.
They
do that every goddamn fucking match. I won!
I definitely won this time.
They do that.
I have a half the torture member in a submission hold and the bell rang. Obviously, I'm the victor.
The ref gets pulled out. It's not a DQ. Oh, God.
We got...
We're probably going to have 3 House of Torture members in the fucking finals, so...
There was more outside... So Kanemaru attacked Shingo on the floor during his entrance. That led to more crowd brawling. It did have kind of a slow start. Narita, apparently, he was targeting Shingo's knee with a chair shot. And that, like I said, the apparently part is apparently that was what Zack went after too, I guess, in his match with him. And so they're at to get a long-term injury from it. Kanemaru also hit him with the chair in the knee. I thought it got good when they got back in the ring now. They were trading some bombs, and Shingo was doing some lariats and stuff. I mean, it's dumb that he fell for the Kanemaru bell thing. We talked about that already. But, Shingo fought off the interference. He got some help from Daiki Nagai, keeping Ren from using the push-up bar, and he hit the last drag with a pin. I went 3.25. I didn't really mind this one. I thought it was pretty good. You seem like you ate a lot more than I did, so. I almost had half a star afterwards for Shingo. He gets his hands on Uncle Nobu's whiskey, and he spits it at Ren, and then I guess I don't know if he accidentally swallowed it or he meant to swallow some of it, but he acted like he was drunk. He was stumbling around. And then he takes Narita's push-up bar and starts doing actual push-ups with it. I mean, Shingo's fucking funny sometimes. He was definitely funny there. The main event, this match, I mean, it's not like this was horrible, but it was so fucking boring. Shota Umino defeated Konosuke Takeshita in 25-46 in the second chapter. So we didn't mention attendance. It was 2,448. It was down more than 450 fans from the last Yokohama Budokan show. Last year was 2,906 with an evil Shingo main. So the only conclusion is Takeshita is a much lesser draw than the King of Darkness.
Sure.
I mean, he's not drawing on this tour.
No, he's not.
I mean, in his hometown, remember they did that 1,200 in Osaka? I mean, I don't know. Japan does not seem to give a shit about it.
He's in another country half the year, or more than that.
I mean, this match, was just very boring start. Nothing was happening. Apparently, Takeshita gave Shota a brainbuster on the floor yesterday during their tag match. So Shota was selling the neck the whole time. And it's not like he was doing a bad job selling it. He was doing a pretty good job selling it. But the match was just... We did not need a slow and boring 26-minute match at the end of what had already been a pretty bad and boring show. Especially given the fucking opener. There was nothing worse. This match needed a fucking match like that 5-minute ELP Drilla match. It needed something to go fucking fast. Nothing went fast in this show. This is where I was I really wish I was watching the 5-star with all these fucking fast matches. Because everything on this show was so fucking slow and boring. But yeah, Takeshita, I'm glad they explained the thing, by the way, about the, because who the fuck watches these tags? You gotta be a real fucking sicko to be watching all the tags on top of the other stuff. So, I'm sure somebody does it.
I'm sure people do it.
I even when New Japan was, at their peak, I didn't do that. It's hard enough keeping up with this tournament just watching the G1 matches. Yeah, Takeshita gave Umino a brainbuster on the outside, which probably, again, I guess, which probably sounds more exciting than it actually was. I just wrote this match is so boring in all caps at one point in my notes because like 15 minutes passed and it felt like nothing happened. It got better, I guess, after that. Takeshita the crowd also did not give a fuck for a long time either, which didn't help. And this was not like a crowd that was dead all night. Like, they were into some of the other stuff. But yeah, Takeshita just kept beating on him and beating on him and beating on him and beating on him and just people are probably going to blame this match on Shota. But Takeshi's, as we've been over, is not having a great tournament or anything, especially by his standards.
No.
And I do not think he did anything to carry this match. In fact, if anything, I thought Shota outperformed him. Because when he finally made his comeback...
It got exciting.
It got a little exciting and the crowd was into it. The problem was really more Takeshita's really boring control period. 20 minutes passed, barely anything interesting enough for me to write about. Takeshita did his stupid neck snap and crossface chicken wing thing that I think has looked horrible every time he's done it. And, Chris Charlton was trying to get us into it. God bless him. He was screaming and yelling. But, he's screaming and yelling about how, Takeshita, no one's ever gotten out of this or no one's ever survived the chicken wing. I'm like, he's been using it for 3 weeks. It's not like we're talking about a move that's been built up for years.
Yeah.
When has he ever done? He's never done that before the start of this tournament, right?
No, I don't.
I mean, you watch way more AEW than I do. I don't know. He's definitely never done New Japan.
No.
I don't know. Did he do an AEW?
I can't recall.
Okay. I don't know.
That's on my head.
The final stretch was good. I mean, that was exciting. The crowd was finally, crowd was into it. The finish was really good. Shota almost cradled Takeshita off the Raging Fire. That looked cool when he sort of brought him down and cradled him off midair. And then he hit the second chapter for the win. I went 2 3/4. That's the highest I can go. It wasn't bad. It was just so boring.
The wrong match on the wrong show.
Yeah.
Where the show was already...
Yeah.
All the matches are pretty slow, and then they have the ultimate slow, longest match, and it's this show just didn't fit together.
No.
I think if this had been a different show, I may not have disliked it as much. I don't know, but I was just the whole show had made me so angry as a whole. I was just and now we're gonna go 25 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for B Block on this episode because the next B Block show is next Wednesday in Hamamatsu.
ELP's tournament is over.
The standings, it's been over. He's already been eliminated, I think.
No, I know, but now he has no match.
Oh yeah! Thank God! I forgot about that.
That's what I meant.
Thank God! Yeah, because he's the guy who's not wrestling on the last night.
Yeah.
Because he's facing. He was supposed to face Gabe Kidd. So first place is Zach. He's 6-2, 12 points. Everybody else has wrestled 8 matches except ELP. ELP's wrestled 9. Narita, Takeshita, and Shota are all tied for second. They're all 5-3. Yoshihashi, Drilla, Great Okan, and Shingo are all 4-4. And ELP is, 4-5. I don't even... Can anyone else get through besides... Zach is through, I think.
He might be.
I think even if we get a 4-way tie, which is that even possible? No, it's not possible because Narita's facing Takeshita. So Zach is through because he has 12 points and only 2 other people can get to 12. So Zach is the first guy through in either block. I'm glad they put somebody through early.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably... And he's facing Yoshihashi on the last night, so that makes sense, I guess. That match is probably pretty meaningless. I mean, maybe Yoshihashi can get through on some wacky tiebreaker.
I don't think he can.
Yeah.
But maybe.
So we have Shota versus Great Okan. I think Shota's going to win that.
Probably.
This is all Wednesday, by the way, again, in Hamamatsu. Shota versus Great Okan. I think Shota's going to win because, remember, Okan beat him back in February, which led to the head shave and everything?
Yeah.
So Shota will probably beat him and move on. Narita will probably lose. And then Narita Takeshita will probably be the main event, and the winner will move on because they're both 5-3.
Yeah, and Takeshita probably wins.
Takeshita probably wins, so there's probably Zach, Takeshita, and Shota, which I think is who I predicted at the very start of the tournament even before Gabe went down. So the other match that I didn't mention is Shingo and Drilla. So there you go, folks. We did save some time on this part, I guess, on this episode. This part of the episode, because we went pretty long on some of the other ones. But yeah, kept this around 60 minutes. All right, so in just a sec, you'll hear me talk about the Friday or the Saturday 5-star show that's airing tonight at midnight. So I don't know if Quinlan will be on with that or not. Probably depends on how tired he is. But all right, I'll talk to you in a second. All right, folks, we're back here for the next show of the week here, which was Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix Day 7. That was on
Saturday, August 9th, Japan time, late night Friday, Eastern time. This is a very good show. There's a lot of great matches in this show. I mean, even the stuff that wasn't great was all pretty good. But, you know, any show with 3-4 star matches always going to rate highly. And it was definitely a very nice, what's the word? It's very early in the morning. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what the fuck I'm trying to think of the word. It's very, it was a very nice refresher after how horrible that last G1 show you just heard me talk about was. So I definitely needed that. Okay, so the show opened in the Blue A block. Amy Sourei defeated Yuri Hime in 8 minutes and 53 seconds. That put her up to 8 points. And Yuri, of course, is still looking for her first 5-star points and probably won't get it this year. This had some really good, hard-hitting action. Both girls were really laying in their chops and forms early. Yuri, again, for somebody who's only been wrestling for a few months, she does not look out of place here at all. And, you know, her improvement since her debut has been pretty rapid. So, that's pretty typical for Stardom these days, but it's still cool to see. Ami hit this big falling lariat on Yuri at one point. That looked really good. And then she put her away pretty quick after that with the Blue Thunder Bomb. So, fun little opener while this lasted. This was a 3.25 star match. Then we had the second tournament match. This was in Blue B. Konami defeated Momo Kogo in 7:42 with a choke sleeper. Momo went right at her at the bell with a drop kick, but quickly ended up on the floor, and she got sent into KBS Hall's fancy banquet chairs. I forgot to mention that that's where the show took place, Kyoto KBS Hall. There was someone in the Discord, the Stardom Discord channel, who was there for the first time, and he was just like marveling at how beautiful the stained glass windows were. They do look amazing in person. That was the same venue I went to in 2019 to a DDT show where Toru Wachi told me I should become a pro wrestler. I guess because I'm almost 6'2", so it's just a kind of amusing memory. Konami pulled Momo up after a high kick, but it didn't even have a chance to backfire on her like it backfired on her fellow Hate member Natsuko Tora, because she immediately put in the sleeper, I guess just for more humiliation, and poor Momo tapped. So this was Gentlewoman's 3 stuff, perfectly fine match, and it moved Konami up to 4 points, leaving Momo at 0. Then we had match number 3, and this is where one of the really great matches in this show. In Blue Stars A, Bozilla defeated Aya Sakura in 10:15 with the sit-out powerbomb. So yeah, this match was awesome. If anything, like the shocking awesome match of the show. Probably, I think, the second best match of the show, and just a really, really great match here. So Bozilla dominated early, as you probably expect. Aya sold for her really well. She finally made her big comeback with these really stiff leg kicks. The crowd was really into that. Aya gets her in her typically nice-looking triangle at one point. Again, as we've talked about, her mat wrestling is very underrated. She even got her back to the mat after Bozilla tried to lift her the first time. But the second try, she does finally successfully powerbomb her way out of it. Aya keeps trying to fight her off with kicks, but Bozilla finally does take over and put her away with the sit-out powerbomb. So 4 stars here. This was awesome. Bozilla just continues to be a great, outstanding addition to the Stardom roster. I mean, she really has had a lot of bangers already, but with obviously with Izumi at Corrigan, it's with Sayori at Corrigan, as we talked about in the show already, and now with Aya. And Aya, she's such a great fiery underdog. She has great offense for that with the kicks and stuff that she did to try to chop Bozilla down, that the match just really clicked. So, great match. Next match, also in Blue A, Sayori Ano defeated Uraka in 7:19 with the special pottering, which I know I've been calling the potato ring, I think multiple times. It's like you see it on the screen because that's how it auto-translates, and your brain does not even go, when you're reading these results, your brain does not even go, of course it's pottering, not potato ring, you idiot. But yeah, the pottering, not the potato ring. Sayori, she tried to German Uraka, but she couldn't get her up. She was just really great selling here for Uraka. She was just making her look like a monster as Uraka was like throwing her around and crashing into her. They traded hard elbows, but then Uraka threw the box. This is the botch of the match. I had to take off like a 1/4 star for this. She threw the black box into her face right in front of the ref Daichi for some reason. That had to be a fuck up because you could see Daichi was then like looking over at the hate members like, oh no, I fucked up. Like I wasn't supposed to see that because obviously that should have been a disqualification. But yeah, somebody didn't. Either they didn't distract him like when they were supposed to. They missed their cue, or he missed his cue to look at them. I just ignore them. I don't know what happened. But Saori did come back and get the win with the pottering roll up. So pretty good match, 3 1/4. Then we had in Blue B, Rana Yagami defeating Hina in 10 minutes and 31 seconds. So Rana was just like kicking the crap out of her through the first 5 minutes. I didn't write a lot of notes for this match for some reason. I guess I wasn't finding it super interesting. But yeah, Rana ended up winning with a roll-up out of nowhere. I didn't think this was nearly as good as their future title match from a few months ago. It was still pretty good, another 3 1/4. But yeah, there was nothing bad on the show. But yeah, it was a little disappointing maybe compared again to their future title match. Then we had Blue Stars B, Suzu Suzuki and Sari going to a 15-minute time limit draw. So Sari is now at 5 points and Suzu's now at 6. So there was a nice missile drop kick off the second rope from Sari, which Suzu took a huge bump for. Suzu came back with this hard running knee in the corner. She hit the big delayed low angle powerbomb on the apron, which is a move that, it's one of those moves that I don't think anyone loves getting over because it looks so fucking dangerous. But yeah, that happened after the 10-minute call. They traded big release Germans before Suzu hit the tequila shot, just as we got the 2-minute remaining call. But Sari kicked out. She also survived a German suplex hold from Suzu. Sari came back with a German off the middle rope. That looked sick as hell. Then she hit a running double stomp for another 2 count as time was rapidly running out on her. She hit a top rope double stomp, but Suzu kicked out again with 30 seconds left. And then I love the end where Sari kept trying for the Uranage. She couldn't get it. She gave up on it for a second, hit a backdrop suplex hold. That got 2. She tried with the Uranage again. She's just struggling to get this move off, and Suzu keeps blocking it. Suzu finally hits a release German. Sari pops right up and no-sells it and just goes for the Uranage again, but time expires on them, so that's the 15-minute draw. 4 stars. This was awesome. I saw some people even higher on it, but I thought it was really good, but wasn't quite like 4.5 level for me. Blue Stars A. This match, was my actual match of the show, which was kind of surprising, but this ended up being really, really awesome. Saya Ida defeats one of the 2 hometown girls in the show, Miyu Amasaki, in 11:36. It was kind of funny seeing the show with the 2 hometown Kyoto girls in the semi-main and the main, because I just watched this YouTube video where this guy basically put together all these different prefectural stereotypes, like all the stereotypes among Japanese people about people from each prefecture, because that's the kind of thing you have to stereotype people for, I guess, when you have no diversity at all. But I mean, people do that in America too, we have multiple locations. But yeah, Kyoto's stereotype was like, they're all snobs who look down on everyone else. But, especially Osakans. So, and then the 2 snobs here, and then the semi-main and the main. Saya just chopped the crap out of Miyu's chest. That's a spot that I'm sure another spot that I'm sure the whole roster just loves getting over. They love having those red chests after every match with Ida now. Miyu fired up with this hard slap to Saya's face when she's in the corner, and then drove her head first with a rope-assisted X-Factor. Like, really dropped her right on her head. It looked like it sucked for Saya, so all the head drops Saya took in this match were, more than made up for the making Miyu's chest all red. There was a nice sliding lariat from Saya back in the ring. Miyu came back with a big DDT, which again Saya took really hard. She's landed right on her head for that. There was a strike exchange, which started a little bit slow, but soon turned into Saya chopping the shit out of Miyu again. Her chest was like so red at this point, but Miyu came back with some pretty hard forearms to Saya's chest in the corner. Saya muscles Miyu up and tries for a muscle buster, but Miyu countered it in midair with an awesome looking DDT. That spot was so cool. Then she hit another big DDT, but only got a 1 count. Miyu hits another DDT, but gets no-sold by Saya, who runs her over with a huge lariat. Saya then muscles Miyu straight up into the muscle buster position while standing. but that brings her down sort of into a driver. I forget what she calls that move, but yeah, it starts from the muscle position but turns into like a driver, and that got the pin. So yeah, the hometown girl did lose, as I mentioned, but this ruled, and Saya being able to take some really sick bumps for Miyu's DDTs made her offense look more impactful than usual. So 4 stars, great match, joins the pantheon of great matches in this tournament so far. The main event, unfortunately, not a great match, but, it was good. It just wasn't up to the standard of the semi-main. So Hanako defeated Momo Watanabe in 14:25. It just had a little bit of a slow start. Not that much went on, especially early on. Hanako then did start hitting some, battering forearms to Momo's chest just after the 5-minute call. Momo kept chopping her down with leg kicks. She walked right into a big Samoan drop from Hanako, followed by a knee drop for a 2 count. We got an enormous big boot from Hanako a little later that almost took Momo's head off, but she was able to come back with a couple impressive rolling suplexes given the size difference, that she was able to just power up so effortlessly. Before Hanako reversed into her own front suplex, that left both girls down at that point. There was an enormous standing lariat from Hanako before Momo hits a big tiger suplex out of nowhere. She dropped Hanako right on her neck before hitting a running middle kick for a 2 count. Hanako hits a kind of weak-looking big boot to knock Momo off the top rope, then hit a suplex on the apron. Momo no-sold it and hit her own suplex just as they hit the floor. That looked pretty cool. Momo and Susie were both left down on the floor for the double count-out tease with less than 5 minutes remaining at that point. Back in the ring, we got 2 more huge lariats from Hanako. The second one in particular just looked brutal. She got a 2 count off of that. Momo tried to come back by using her bat, with the ref actually distracted this time, thankfully. But Hanako ducked it. She did a spinning head and arm choke. She's got her head and arm choke and started doing a spin, and then just dropped her and covered her. That only got a 2. She got her back up in the Argentine backbreaker and turned it into a drop, but Momo rolled through the pin attempt and nearly cradled her. She hit 2 stiff kicks to the head, the second being a running punt for a 2 count. 1 minute left at this point, and Momo pushed Hanako into the ref, but Uraka missed the black box attack and nailed Momo by mistake. I wonder if that's going to go anywhere, all these missed black box attacks involving Momo lately. Hanako won with her driver thing. I don't know what the move name is. But yeah, not the best match, especially on a show where a lot of her stuff delivered at a high level. Still a good match, 3.5. The problem is Hanako is not good at the underdog role. I mean, she's not like Lady C, who can do it despite being so tall, or so much taller than the other wrestlers. Maybe because she's also Hanako looks much more muscular and much thicker than Lady C, so maybe that actually makes it harder for her. But yeah, I mean, she's in the underdog role here, and it never really clicks when she's in that role, as a great match. But, she's much better at being dominant, but she was up against a heel here, and she was the hometown face, so they couldn't go that route. But yeah, still a great fucking show, as usual for this year's 5-star. Give me 1 second, we'll go over the standings. So the Blue A standings, actually I'll go over the Blue A standings after the final 5-star show we're going to talk about, because there is one Blue A match on the Sunday show. For Blue B, we have Momo Watanabe at 4-1 for 8 points, Hanako 3-0-1 for 7 points, Suzu Suzuki 2-1-2 for 6 points, Sari is 2-1-1 for 5 points. Is that correct? Did I forget to update her score, actually? I think that's correct. Rana Yagami is 2-3 for 4 points, as is Konami. Hina is 1-3 for 2 points, and Momo Kogo is still 0-3 for 0 points, or maybe 0-4. I don't know. So that'll do it for this show, and I'll be back with you in just a sec with the Red Block show from Sunday, our final 5-star show of the week. So see you in a sec.
All right, folks, we're back here for the last 5-star show of this episode. Just me here again, the Sunday, August 10th show from the Okayama Convention Center. If I sound exhausted, it's because I am. A long weekend, these convention weekends, they used to make me exhausted even when I wasn't an old person, and now I'm quite an old person, so I am pretty fucking tired. But we're powering through here. As we all know, podcasters braver than the troops, and I wanted to give you guys another episode here, even while I'm also enjoying Otakon. No one goes to fuck home on Sundays anymore at these conventions. Again, I'm old enough to remember
pre-COVID, pre-2020, when Sundays used to be fucking deserted at conventions. Like, the dealer's room would be empty, the game room would be empty, there'd be nobody here on Sundays. So if you actually did stay through Sunday, it was great. Now these fucking conventions, nobody goes home. I mean, there's just also so many more people in general because, everybody watches fucking anime now. But, I can't remember what, they draw, 40,000 to this fucking Otakon, I think, when they used to draw, 20 to 25,000 pre-COVID. And, so everybody watches anime. Nobody goes home, I assume, because a lot of people are like me and have, remote jobs and, don't have to rush home to go to work on Monday. So everybody stays until the very end of the convention on Sunday now. And it's just, it's very, very, it's very, very tiring. Just I got to play more Tune Theme on Saturday night than I did on Sunday. It's just very, very annoying. Anyway, but yeah, no one goes home in these conventions. I'll talk a little bit about my my Japanese pro wrestling panel when Quinlan's back on with me to do the last G1 show. Just if anyone's curious about that, I don't know if anyone cares, but I'll talk more about that one because he did the panel with me. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, the convention otherwise was fine. There's a lot of bad panelists now. I don't know. There's a lot of panelists who don't know what they're doing and have a lot of technical issues with their panels. They don't run through them ahead of time or something. But there was still some good panels. There was some stuff I enjoyed. There was this one panel, probably the most interesting panel that I saw all weekend, was this guy who actually came over from Japan who was a music producer, and he did this presentation about Nico music culture in Japan, not just Vocaloid songs, but how the underground internet music culture in Japan really got started, even pre-Nico and then into the peak Nico Doga days. And as someone who loves Japanese music, that was incredibly fascinating. And even though he had to speak through a translator, so it slows the panel down. That was the most interesting panel I saw all weekend. So that was really cool. He just went through all the history of Japanese underground music and internet music. So that was a lot of fun. Bad Anime Bad was really funny this year because they did MD Geist, which if you're not an anime fan, you've never heard of that. It's one of the worst anime ever made, and he had saved it for his big 25th anniversary. It was really funny. Also being bad Japanese music videos is always really funny. So good stuff still. But there's also a lot of panelists who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or here's one that annoys me. So there's a lot of travel panelists, right? And I do a Japan travel panel too. So I like to go to these travel panels and silently judge them. There were 4 different travel panels on the schedule this year. 2 of them were basically useless. They were just complete travel logs, look at my pictures of my trips, which is if you're not going to give people actual information about how to travel to Japan, completely useless. The other 2 were pretty good. They actually did give information, and they actually did know what they were talking about. But yeah, 2 of them were completely useless. So that was just something I noticed. Was there anything else from this convention? I don't even know how many of you care, but I'm at Otakon. I might as well talk about Otakon, right? The game room was awesome. They had 1 million arcade machines of everything. Played so much Tune Theme. Not today, though, because everybody else was in the game room today, too, because there's nothing else to do at the con. That's the other problem with the con. So you're open till 3 p.m. on Sunday. Why the fuck? And again, everybody comes on Sunday now. There's tons of people here still. Obviously not as many people as Friday or Saturday. Why do they insist on scheduling the least interesting shit on Sunday? There was, nothing worth going to today. I didn't go to a single panel. It's they go through the panel submissions and are like, okay, what's the most boring stuff that we want to accept for God knows what reason? Put it all on Sunday. And it's there's not one good thing to go to on Sunday. It's really something. But anyway, that's my Otakon review, I guess. It was fine. It really wasn't, it wasn't anything that great. I drank some Dasai sake in my hotel room. That was probably the highlight. All right. 5-star Grand Prix, day number 8, August 10th. I watched this show last night at midnight, but midnight Eastern, but could not record at 2 a.m. because I have 3, my girlfriend and my 2 friends in the room with us, so could not keep them awake, unfortunately, recording. But yeah, this was a very good show. I would say all the all the best, like all the high-end stuff, like all the major matches delivered, and there was some good stuff on the undercard. It wasn't like the best of these red block shows. There have been better ones, but this was still a very good one. So, the crowd was into everything. They drew 618 at the Okayama Convention Center. That, I believe their previous high was 529 from this year, just after the conversion show. So it smashed that previous high. Apparently it was a sellout. So, I think it was Super No Vacancy Full House. So yeah, just a great crowd for Stardom again. They continue to draw good crowds. But yeah, this was a good show. So let's get into it here. I've wasted enough time talking about an anime convention. The opener was Azumi defeating Rion in 10:41. That moved Azumi all the way up to 9 points. And has that made her clinch? Has she clinched a spot in the playoffs? I should have looked that up first. No, she hasn't, because Rion and Tora can both get to 10, and Starlight Kid can also get to 9. Starlight Kid can get to 11 because she has 2 matches left, and Azumi only has 1 match left. So yeah, she hasn't clinched the spot yet because 3 people can still finish ahead of her. She's very close to clinching, but she has not yet clinched the spot yet. But yeah, she did beat Rion here in 10:41. So this was a good opener. I did find it very funny. So Rion is obviously an underdog here, and she's one of these wrestlers in the roster who can manage to make Azumi look big. Because Azumi, obviously, she's quite short, but she's also like very stocky, and she has those "I've never missed a leg day in my life" legs of hers, and she just looked huge against Rion, who's like both shorter than her and also kind of a lot skinnier too. So Azumi looked like the dominating physical presence in the match, which is kind of funny. But yeah, she just kind of worked over Rion. These bloodthirsty Okayamans started chanting like "Mo Ikai, Mo Ikai," which obviously means one more time. After Azumi gave her this very hard soccer ball kick to the back, I was like, "Damn, you guys are sickos over here. I just want to see Rion get take even more punishment." But Rion did avoid the second one though, so she did not satiate the bloodlust of these Okayamans. Azumi at one point towards the end of the match, hit this stiff kick right to Rion's face, and then put her away soon after with a top rope double stomp. So, fun match here, fast-paced opener, 3.5 stars. Definitely a good match. Match number 2, Yuna Mizumori defeats Waka Tsukiyama in 8:51 with a Death Valley driver. So that moved her up to 4 points, and Waka, of course, is still winless. Waka, though, she very nearly pinned Yuna in the very early back-and-forth cradle sequence. It was like one of those 2.99 counts. And yeah, most of this match is just Waka screaming her head off. She is the funniest Joshi screamer of all time. I mean, that woman will fucking... she has like an Osakan accent, I'm pretty sure, even though she was born in New York. I think, she then was raised in Osaka, or her parents are from there, whatever the fuck. But yeah, she's like very, very loud and has that ridiculous accent, and just very, very funny when she starts screaming. But yeah, this match, I don't know, just felt like Waka's been going very short for a reason, and this match felt needlessly long, painfully average, 2.5 stars, just a very average match. Waka biting her hand afterward was probably more of a highlight than the actual match itself. So, what are you gonna do? Red Stars A, Azuse Naba gets a bit of an upset here, defeating May Seri. Why am I fucking up her name? May Sierra. God. She beat May Sierra. Like I said, folks, I am running on like 10 combined hours of sleep in the past 3 days, so I apologize if I sound rougher than usual. But yeah, Azusa wins. She gets up to 6 points. May is down to 7 points. We get some very hard forearms to the chest from Azusa. May, though, fires back by stomping on her foot repeatedly as hard as she can. She's done that spot before, obviously. It's always funny when she does. She's like, fuck you. I'm tiny. I'm going to stomp on your foot. Azusa hit some pretty stiff axe kicks during the match. She hit like 2 of them in a row at one point, one with May up against the ropes. And that led to them going to the floor for the traditional hate throwing of the baby face into the chairs. Azusa did spice things up a little, though. She did an umbrella attack, and then she choked May with a towel out there. the match slowed down a little bit back in the ring. Azusa working over May's leg. Then she hit a Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count. But thankfully that didn't last very long. They went right back to the high-speed antics. May nearly got pinned by a cradle cutback, but then hit a big sit-out powerbomb on Azusa. Azusa kicked out, though. But yeah, the only problem with this match at the end was Azusa's flash pin was a little botched. I might have gone even higher on this match if they hadn't kind of messed that up at the end, but it was still good. It was 3.5 stars. Azusa gets the win. Maybe earned herself a future high-speed title shot, although I think Unimon is first in line for that, probably. But yeah, good match here. Then we had our one and only Blue A block match of the night. Remember, this was the rescheduled match when Aya Sakura rejected getting the free points when Muraka was sick. Well, that came back to bite her because Muraka beat her in 6:21 with a German suplex hold. This was like a lot of no-selling by Muraka, especially early. She was just shrugging off all the Aya's forms and kicks. There was like a spot that looked pretty goofy at one point where, so Aya did this hanging kick, which hung herself on the ropes to like kick Muraka with a high kick, and Muraka was supposed to like roll forward so Aya could then hit a soccer ball kick, but the roll forward looked a little goofy and fake because the hanging kick did not look very impactful. They just both look a little tentative in general here. Aya kind of froze up on the ropes at one point, waiting for Muraka to cut her off. But it picked up from there. Aya, she had a very nice kick to a seated Muraka's face, and she put her in that typically strong triangle. That got things back on track. Muraka shrugged off some leg kicks from Aya later, but actually at this point was still doing a good job, like shrugging them off, but still also acting like they hurt, which is kind of a hard, balance to find. But she was doing a good job. Muraka then hit 2 straight lariats. That sequence was probably the highlight of the match. And then she drops Aya right in the back of her head with a German suplex for the pin. But yeah, this was just all right, like 2 3/4, really nothing special here, given that it was kind of short and also just had some issues. But, it wasn't horrible or anything either. Poor Aya should have just taken the forfeit, and Muraka taunted her about that afterwards, so because she's a heel. I don't know why I said that like that. Red Block A next. Hanan defeated Lady C in 8:35 with the backdrop hold. Lady C fucking took Hanan's head off with a big boot at one point. That was the highlight of the match. But, Hanan won with the backdrop suplex hold. Perfectly fine. Gentlewoman's 3 stuff here. Nothing that memorable or exciting, as you can tell by the fact they took no notes on it. But, it was fine. Hanan got up to 7 points with this one, so. Then we had Red Block B, Sayaka Kurara against Tomoka Inaba, and Tomoka gets the win in 11 minutes and 30 seconds. This is where the show really picked up these last 3 matches. So, it was maybe a little nondescript early. There was not a ton happening besides Sayaka throwing drop kicks. But once they got to the rear naked choke, which this was a great little job by Tomoka and Sayaka. So Sayaka gets from the rear naked choke, and she starts subtly blocking Tomoka's leg from getting the ropes. She's keeps moving her leg in front of Tomoka's leg, and that's a very little small touch. But for 2 wrestlers who are not that experienced, especially Sayaka, that was really good stuff. And Sayaka just very subtly moving her leg away from the ropes and just keeps keeping it away before Sayaka finally gets the leg on the ropes anyway. Great little sequence there. And Tomoka was just selling the choke really well too. She goes after Sayaka's leg, and Sayaka was selling that really well. So great selling of this match. Sayaka ends up getting the knee bar on, and she keeps rolling Sayaka away from the ropes every time she gets close to them too. So just excellent selling again from Sayaka here before she finally taps out. And this got very good by the end. I went 3 3/4. Again, a lot of it was just really good mat work from both girls, really good selling from both girls, and just that's a match style that appeals to me. I like submission wrestling, and I like I like it when they do a little extra to make it look realistic, like they did during this match. So, it's one of these things where, again, I brought this up before, but they don't have to do this stuff, right? They're an idol promotion in a lot of ways, and they're drawing people in by, how cute they are, to be quite frank. But it's Tam Nakano said it when she kind of told, because remember, there was that time when, when Kadani, the head of Bushiroad, he went up on stage and looked like a jackass when he basically said, look how cute these girls are. Wouldn't that make any, in these, in their, I think they were in swimsuits or something. Like, look how cute they weren't even in swimsuits, actually. They were in their wrestling gear, and he said they were in swimsuits. So he's like, look how cute these girls are in their swimsuits. Doesn't that make you want to go to a Stardom show? And everybody ripped him online. The Stardom fans ripping him online. Because, again, Stardom fans, they've gotten a little more, it's not kind of like the Rossi era anymore. Like, they're a little more sensitive to that kind of thing. They don't want to hear just about how, hot the girls are. It's just not what a lot of them are in for. And a lot of the Japanese fans were ripping him for that. And then, Tam went basically and, like, politely told him off when she was like, it's fine if people come to the shows because they think we're cute. Obviously, we are cute. But then we're going to make them stay and keep watching because of how good our wrestling is and how good our storytelling is and how cool we look at our entrances. And just basically saying, we're about so much more than being adorable. And, they don't have to do that stuff, right? Like, they can sell themselves just on being cute. And instead they choose to do, like, fucking submission matches like that are really good. So... next match, speaking of really fucking good matches, Natsupoi defeats Rina in 12 minutes and 2 seconds. This match fucking rocked. And Rina, she's having a breakout tournament here. So, the funny moment at the start of the match I took a note for. So, like, Natsupoi does this little handstand flip almost at the start of almost every match. And the Okayama crowd went like, woo-woo for it, which I thought was so funny. Like, she does that in every match, guys, but I'm glad you found it that impressive. So Poi and Rina, they end up on the apron at one point. And speaking of things that these girls probably don't have to do, Poi grabs Rina by her fucking head and snap mirrors her down onto the apron. Rina takes this ridiculously hard bump on, like, the fucking small of her back on the apron. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, these girls are crazy. They, like, start grabbing each other by the hair, and they're brawling around ringside, and they almost both get counted out before they just barely duck back in the ring together. Then they take turns. They're on the mat. They're in, like, a seated position. Rina slaps Poi once. Then Poi tries to slap her back, but Rina ducks it because she's a heel and she don't want to do any of that strong style exchange stuff. And then Natsupoi ducks Rina's back, and they keep ducking before Rina finally gets her with a really hard slap. That was awesome. She fucking crushes Poi with her double knee drops off the middle and the top rope a little bit later. That gets a 2 count. She nails Poi with a boot to the face, and Poi takes a bump right on the back of her neck for that. She gets Poi in the grounded octopus hold, which I was pointing out to me on Discord. I probably should have remembered this. That was Hana Kimura's finisher, one of them, the Hydrangea? I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you to the Discord users pointing that out to me when we were watching the show, because I feel like I've just been calling it the octopus hold, but it is a tribute to Hana Kimura, of course. Poi makes the ropes. Poi cuts back on an attempted Rina sunset flip attempt. Very nearly pins her, super close near fall. She hits the rotating fairy splash with the crowd counting along, but Rina kicks out again. And then finally Poi hits her front flip drop, the fairy ring, I believe that one's called, and that gets the pin. This fucking ruled. 4 1/4. Rina has my second and third favorite matches of the tournament. This match and the Azumi match she had earlier that also went 4 1/4 on. She's having an amazing tournament. I don't know what to say. I mean, Natsupoi, everybody knows Natsupoi's great, I think, except the Voice of Wrestling 30 under 30 voters. But yeah, I mean, this is an awesome fucking match. And then Poi hits her with the bye Poi at the end of the match. Bye Poi. I love bye Poi. There's that great bye Poi YouTube compilation, which I watch way too many times, where she does all the bye Pois. The angry bye Poi is the best one, when she's yelling about how she's going to beat Tam Nakano, and she goes, bye Poi! I shouldn't have done that. That probably sounded horrible, but she's like so angry. It makes me laugh every single time. The main event, also Red Stars B, Starlight Kid defeats Tam Nakano. Not Tam Nakano. Natsuko Tora. Oh my god, folks. Remember, 10 hours of sleep in 3 days. Starlight Kid defeats Natsuko Tora in 13:48 with the Black Tiger Leg Killer, the third version or whatever, because she has like these escalating versions. So yeah, this match was awesome too. Look, Natsuko Tora, she needs to get her flowers for this tournament. She's had some really good matches in this tournament. I thought she was going to be like an anchor on this red block on this red B block that looked great, and instead she's been great. I mean, again, she has great opponents because this red B is loaded, and, you know, it's loaded with people who are great, but, like, she's fucking holding up her end of the bargain. So, you know, call it like I see him. She's never been one of my favorites, but she's been really good in this tournament. So, Ruaka trips Starlight Kid up from the floor early, pulls her out of the ring, and guess what follows? That's right. Chair throwing. They throw her into chairs. I know you're shocked. There's one point where Starlight Kid, they're back in the ring, and she, like, steps on Tora's leg. You know the way she does that every match where she steps on the leg and she's going to do the moonsault on it. She fucking leans over and made some gesture to Tora that almost looked like it was flipping her off. I don't know if it actually was, but it was funny. It's funny to imagine Starlight Kid flipping someone off. It would make sense too, because remember, she got kicked out of Oedo Tai. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. Just to Starlight Kid flipping people off, maybe. She keeps working over Tora's leg after hitting her big dive to the outside. She gets her Black Tiger leg killer on the first time, but Tora crawls to the ropes to break it. Tora at like one point, she somersaults her way forward and out of another Starlight Kid leg submission. That was pretty cool. That was like right at the 10-minute mark. I was like, who knew she had that in her? Starlight Kid hits a moonsault at the top, just as we get the 3 minutes remaining call, but Tora kicks out and then crashes into her with a huge lariat, just ran her right over, then hit a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. But Starlight Kid does finally come back and tap her out with her strongest version of the Black Tiger leg killer, the one where she like fully hooks the leg back. This match rocked, 4 stars flat. Again, just the show ended on a high note. I mean, what else can you say? These shows, you know, even a down show for Red Block that had some stuff that wasn't like, you know, great throughout, just ended with like 3 great matches. So, you know, another good show in the 5-star. Shocking at this point, I know. Okay, so that's our last 5-star show we're going to talk about in this episode. So let me give you the updated standings, which I believe I'm all correct on, but it's always possible that I missed a match or something because I do write these myself. So Red Block A, Saya Kamatani, who wasn't on the show because she was off defending the Wave title in Wave. I don't know if she won or not, I didn't look. But yeah, she's 5-0, perfect 5-0, 10 points. May Sierra's 3-2-1 for 7 points. Hanan is also 3-2-1 for 7 points. Remember, they had the draw, so they're really tied. I guess they'd have to do a tiebreaker if they tied for one of the spots. B. Priestley is 3-2 for 6 points. So unlike May and Hanan, she has 2 matches remaining, so she can get to 10 points. Whereas May and Hanan, with their 1 match remaining, they can only get to 9 points. Azuse Nabis 3-3, 6 points. Lady C is 2-3, 4 points. She also has 2 matches remaining, so she is still alive, actually, because she could win her next 2 matches and get to 8 points. Azuse Naba is also still alive. He can also get to 8 points, depending on what happens to other people. And then the other 2 here are out. So Yuna Mizumori, she's 2-4. She only has 1 match left. She has 4 points. And Waka Tsukiyama, 0-5. I mean, she has 2 matches left, but she can only get to 4 points. So she'll probably end up with 0. So yeah, the scenarios for A, for Red A, with the remaining shows we have here. Because yeah, there's 2 shows left for the Red Blocks. Because there's 1 blue block only show that's on Monday, which is a holiday in Japan, Monday at 1 o'clock in Kobe. Then the 2 mixed block shows are in Yokohama on Saturday and Act City Hamamatsu on Sunday. So rather than just like previewing them all at once, let me go through what's left for each block. So for Red A, in Yokohama, Saya Kamatani has Mei Sierra, Waka Tsukiyama has Azusa Inaba, and Lady C has B. Priestley. Then on the last show at Hamamatsu, Saya Kamatani against B. Priestley, Hanan versus Yuna Mizumori, and Lady C versus Waka Tsukiyama. So Saya she's not quite through. Oh no, she is through. Because yeah, even at 10 points is the lowest she could end up with. The only people that could tie. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't think she is through because wait. Nicole's in here laughing at me. She walked in the door. Okay, Saya is through because May and Hanan can only get to 9. The only person who can tie her is B. So there's no one else who can tie her in the block. She has not yet clinched the block because B can get to 10 points. And she can also get the tiebreaker on Saya if she beats her in her match. So then she would win the block if Saya ended up at 5-2. So if Saya wins her match in Yokohama against May, though, then she would clinch the block because B can only get to 10.
and May and Hanan, May would be stuck at 7, Hanan could only get to 9. So yeah, Saya's through. May and Hanan, they can both get to 9, so at least one or both of those can both go through, depending on what happens with B. B can get to 10 if she wins both her remaining matches against Lady C and Saya. So we'll see what happens there. My prediction is, I think Saya might even go undefeated, and we might end up with Saya, May, and Hanan going through. Maybe B goes through, even if she loses to Saya, but I think that's most likely is Saya, May, and Hanan going through. Red Stars B. Azumi is first, 4-1-1 with 9 points. Rina second, Rina and Tora tied for second, 4-2 with 8 points. Rina, remember, has the tiebreaker on Tora, so technically she's second and Tora's third. Starlight Kid is 3-1-1 with 7 points. Natsupoi is 3-2 with 6 points. Tomoki Naba is 2-3 with 4 points. Sayaka is 1-5 with 2 points, and Rion's 0-5 with 0 points. Inaba, even with two matches left, can only get to 8, and she lost to Tora, so I believe she would be eliminated already because she would not have the tiebreaker. Sayaka and Rion are both already eliminated, obviously. So it's down to Azumi, Rina, Tora, Starlight Kid, and Natsupoi. Starlight Kid kind of controls her own destiny because she has 2 matches left. So let's go through what's left for Red B. Red B in Yokohama is Azusha Inaba versus Natsuki Tora, Natsupoi versus Rion, Sayori Ano versus Yuria Hime. No, sorry, that's Fu A. Starlight Kid versus Rina, Azusha Inaba versus Natsuki Tora, Natsupoi versus Rion. And then Hamamatsu, it's Starlight Kid versus Natsupoi, Azumi versus Sayaka, Rion versus Tomoka. So Azumi, with 1 match left, can get to 11 points. Starlight Kid, with 2 matches left, can get to 11. Rina and Tora, both 1 match left, can both get to 10. So Azumi and Kid are the ones who can win the block, and if they both win the remaining matches, Azumi and Kid would be in an unbreakable tie, so they probably wouldn't do that. I guess it would need some kind of tiebreaker if they did. Poi is still alive, and she can get to 10 points. So what I think will happen, I think Starlight Kid will beat Rina, and she'll be at 9. And probably Azusha will upset Tora, maybe? I don't know, actually. That could go either way. But either way, I think what will happen is Azumi will beat Sayaka and win the block with 11 points, and then it will come down to Poi versus Starlight Kid for one of the other 2 spots on the last night, and I think Poi will win that and get the third place spot. I'm assuming this because Starlight Kid, as white belt champion, maybe they'll do a defense with her in Oda Ward instead of putting her through. I mean, she could still make the tournament, I guess, on Wednesday, and they could still eliminate her Wednesday and do that. But yeah, that would add another big match for Oda Ward, and she has Tomoka, who beat her on the first night, who's also not advancing. So they could do Starlight Kid versus Tomoka for the Wonder title on the Oda Ward show. So that's what I think will happen. But yeah, it's a little more complicated, Red B, but I think my picks would be Azumi, Poi, and either Rina or Tora. Maybe Tora. Maybe Rina gets beat by Starlight Kid on the second to last show, so she ends at 8 points. Then Tora beats Azusa Naba and ends at 10. So it would be Azumi 11, Tora 10, Poi either 10 or 8 to go through. Even with 10, even if she wins both her last 2 matches, which, yeah, she's going to beat Rion, so she'll probably be at 10. Even if she does that, though, Tora would have the tiebreaker, so Poi would be in third. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me as we go through these block scenarios. Blue A standings. These we can't really go through as much, thank God, because they have a full block show left. So the Blue A standings are Amy Sori in first with 4-1 for 8 points, Bozilla in second 3-0-2 for 8 points, and they haven't faced each other yet. I'm just putting Amy in first because she has more wins than Bozilla. But Sayori Ano 3-1-1 for 7 points, Uraka 2-2-1 for 5 points, Saya Ida 2-2 for 4 points, Aya Sakura 1-3 for 2 points, Miyu Amazaki 1-3 for 2 points, and Yuria Hime 0-4 for 0 points. So their solo block show, which unlike the other one we actually do have the card order. We don't have the card order yet for Yokohama or the Hamamatsu show. We do have the card order for Kobe. So that is the final blue block only show.
So it opens up with Blue A, Yorihime versus Ruaka. Then Blue B, Momo Kogo versus Rana Yagami. Blue A, Amy Sore versus Miyu Amasaki. Blue B, Hina versus Momo Watanabe. Blue A, Saya Ida versus Mozilla. Blue B, Hanako versus Sari. Blue B, Suji Suzuki versus Konami. And then your main event, a match I'm really looking forward to, Blue A, Shiori Ano versus Aya Sakura, the Cosmic Angel battle there. So yeah, that's what they have for their solo block show. And then I'll read off what they have in the final 2 shows, even though I won't get to scenarios here because a lot will depend on what happens in Kobe. But the second to last show in Yokohama has Shiori Ano versus Yorihime, Saya Ida versus Aya Sakura, and Miyu Amasaki versus Ruaka as your Blue A matches. Then in Blue B, one of the most anticipated matches of the entire tournament, and what will probably be the main event, I think, in Yokohama, Sari versus Momo Watanabe. Hina faces Momo Kogo, and Hanako faces Konami. The Hamamatsu show, the Blue A for that, Saya Ida versus Yorihime, Miyu Amasaki versus Aya Sakura, and the match that I think will decide the block. I don't think it will just I think both these wrestlers will go through at this point, but this will decide who wins the block and gets the bye. Amy Sore versus Bozilla. So yeah, I think probably what will happen is those two and Shiori will go through, I think. Blue B is really weird on the last show. It's Momo Kogo versus Sari, Hina versus Hanako, and Suzu Suzuki versus Rana Yagami. I mean, none of those matches stand out as being important or deciding anything, which is very strange. But yeah, there's your look ahead at the 5-star stuff coming up. I went 32 minutes by myself here, so that's fine, I guess. But yeah, I'll be back in just a second to wrap up this episode with my pal Quinlan and talk about the G1 Climax show from today. So be back in a sec. All right, so we're back here to wrap up this episode with the final night of the G1. Quinlan's back. Hello, Quinlan. How you doing?
All right.
I know you got that energy up. How was Otakon? I know you seem like you didn't like this con even as much as I did. And I didn't love it or anything.
But I just feel like it's been going down in quality.
Yeah. What am I doing?
No.
I don't know. I still really enjoyed Bad Anime Bad this year. I actually talked a little bit about that before, the solo audio, and I don't know. There was some good stuff. There was that panel you didn't go to that I went to. I talked about the solo audio too, but it was the one with the Japanese guy who was a music producer. That was really cool. There was some cool stuff I went to. I didn't talk about this on my solo audio. The Japanese baseball panel was really cool. He went into way more detail than I thought he would about the history of it, pre-World War II and everything. Apparently, one of the American baseball players who went over to Japan on that famous tour with Babe Ruth was actually a spy. And he took a bunch of pictures of the Tokyo skyline in case they went to war.
Ah, okay.
It's kind of fucking crazy information. Then he talked about all these Baltimore Orioles that went over there in 1971, post World War II, went to play a true World Series against the Japanese champions, which I never really knew about either. So that was really cool. I wasn't expecting. That guy went really deep on the history of Japanese baseball, which was fascinating. I don't know why there's not more Japanese baseball panels. That's their biggest sport, you know.
Mm.
I mean, that guy had that Japanese hockey panel every year in Boston, and they barely play they barely play hockey in Japan. But baseball is their fucking biggest sport by a mile, and for some reason this is a rare panel on an Anime Con. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool panel. So there's some cool stuff. There's also a lot of meh stuff and bad stuff, but what are you gonna do? Our pro wrestling panel went well, I thought.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, we had a pretty full room, not really full considering we had a gigantic room, but more and more people kept coming in, and the crowd seemed like they were into it.
Yeah.
You really don't have any thoughts about it at all?
I mean, I prefer Baltimore over DC, and it's in DC now, and it sucks. My favorite thing about Otakon used to be the game show. It's been gone for years.
How was that retro game show you went to?
I mean, that's always kind of fun.
Yeah.
I did get called up, but I played the one game that they had there that I don't know how to fucking play.
You got called. You didn't even tell me this. What did they call? That you called up? What did you?
The previous contestants got to pick a card, but he just picked what game he wanted me to play. It was Balloon Fight, which I never.
I would have killed at that. I'm really good at Balloon Fight.
And then right after me, he picked someone to play the first boss in TMNT, which the person didn't even know the secret to beating, which I did. I mean, the person won, but I would have known to jump up on the crate and hit Rocksteady from up there,
But so you didn't do good in Balloon Fight?
No, because I never owned that game. I never really played that game. The only time I played it is on the Switch and fucking NES.
Yeah. I really see. I had that game as a
kid. Also, every other person got multiple tries, but for me, I was only one life and you're dead.
Well,
I don't know why.
They had to make Balloon Fight's not that hard. They had to make it hard somehow.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, isn't the whole point supposed to be hard?
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry you got called. You didn't even tell me about this. I'm sorry you got called up for Balloon Fight, and that would have been great for me. I love that.
It was like the one game there that I didn't know.
I loved that game as a really little kid because obviously that was, the NES was already out when I was born. But yeah, we had that game when I was a little kid, and I loved that game. Okay, so let's talk about this show, I guess. Well, I met anything else about our pro wrestling panel? Like, you can think of the post, the guy who ran the room thought the panel was great. He told me. Oh. I mean, we had a lot of people coming up there to look at the merchandise at the end. I don't know. The merchandise I brought in seems to have been a big hit.
Yeah.
I mean, people seem to like that. I set up all my I set up my Naito G1 winter towel. This really old Jimmy's towel from Dragon Gate I found that I bought on my very first trip, and a bunch of signed portraits, like Stardom ones, but also Minoru Suzuki that I got on the last trip. Mika Iwata from Sendai Girls, and then I had a couple Team New Japan program guides and stuff too. So yeah, I don't know, people got a kick out of that, and some little acrylic stands I bought too. But I thought it gives the panel a flavor, I've been there for the shows, and here's my merch and stuff. Whereas there was another wrestling panel, I think I might have mentioned that before. You didn't go to it, right? I went to it. Trust me, we cleared his panel pretty easily because he had a lot of technical difficulties. So he tried to embed his clips in the PowerPoint, which I never do that because it never fucking works, and so the clips would not play at all. But he did not have his clips in the order that he was going to play them. So every time he wanted to play a new clip, and he was playing 30-second clips, not 5 or 6 minute Mac clips like we were doing. So the entire panel turned into him scrolling through his folder trying to find the right clip. And that was half his panel, basically. It was it's just very not, and you should order your clips in the order you want to play them, And he didn't really have any crossover with us anyway, because he was very leaning into look how wacky Japanese wrestling is. There was a lot of Tokyo Joshi comedy spots and DDT comedy spots, and I have nothing against that stuff, but it's just, that's not the direction I went with my panel, so, we didn't really have any crossovers. I thought that was good. But yeah. Alright, you don't seem to want to talk about the panel anymore, so let's talk about...
Well, I told you it was going to be the same guy that's there every year.
Yeah. Well,
he's done it for some reason.
Well, he's done it 3 years in a row now?
Yes. And every year, you for some reason go. I went once, and I'm good.
Yeah, he's not. I feel bad.
I'm sure he'll go again next year,
this guy's listening.
Go again, and I'll tell you, it's just him again.
It's not like he did a horrible job or anything. I don't want to sound just on the off chance he happens to listen or something. I don't want to sound like I'm burying the guy, but if you do happen to listen, buddy, order your clips so you don't have to go scrolling through them. That was your biggest problem. Other than that, I was happy that we didn't cover the same stuff. He barely talked about New Japan or Stardom. He didn't. I don't think he really talked about. I did leave early, so he might have gotten to it later. But I don't think he talked about Noah, which we talked about Noah and showed the Ozawa winning the title clip, which people always enjoy. What always gets over in the room is Ozawa and that Saya Kamitani Tam Nakano match, because I showed the Korakuen match, and all that chaos with all the interference at the end really gets over with people. They think that's cool. So what was interesting to me is the David Finlay Goto clip that killed MMA Boston. The entire room was super into it. And this one, not David Finlay, Zack Sabre Jr. Goto clip with Goto winning the title. This con, they didn't care about it really. I was watching the crowd. It didn't get the kind of reactions it got at MMA Boston.
Yeah.
Nicole was there. She could tell you they were all really into that. They were really into that match. And the funny thing is, the clip somehow had a choppy frame rate or something when I played it there, even though it didn't do that when I was testing at home. Here I didn't do the choppy, I fixed it. It didn't have the choppy frame rate, and for some reason they were less into it. So maybe the key was choppy frame rate all along. Who knows? But yeah. So the G1 show today, folks. That was the G1 Night 16, or Night 15, sorry, from G Messi Gunma, and apparently a sellout. I didn't see a crowd number. Let me see if there's a crowd number now. But yeah, this show did sell out. I don't know what the fuck these people came for, considering they were not making a lot of noise. Yeah, it did 2,053. I mean,
they were making noise, just not in certain matches.
Well,
which we'll get to. There's certain wrestlers on this card they couldn't give two fucks about. But.
Well, there was they made noise sometimes, but there were some matches.
They were making a ton of noise in the main event.
They were
making a ton of noise in the semi-main event. It was one match in particular where they just sat there and fell asleep.
They didn't really care about Oiwa Sonata either. And they were not making as much noise for Taichi Bolton as I would expect, given how good the match was. But I don't know.
But when
they did get into actually,
Suji had heat on Callum Newman, they just sat there and fell asleep.
They were
fuck would they care?
Well, Callum took a lot of that match, and I guess they were waiting for a Suji. We'll get into it. But yeah, the opener, the G1 opener here, which is on the final A block show, was Bolton Oleg defeating Taichi in 12-14 with the Kamikaze. So that kept Bolton alive for the moment at the time. That made him 5-4 for 10 points.
Solidified Taichi as a dork.
Taichi was 3-6 for 6 points.
Well, I guess won't be in the G1 next year.
I doubt he will be, unfortunately. I mean, he's probably like the second best wrestler in the entire tournament after Yuya. So I don't know, maybe third after Yuya and Zach. I don't know. Yeah, Taichi and Bolton, they did the sumo struggle lockup early, which that looked even better than it usually does because it's like Taichi struggling with this gigantic Bolton Oleg. Then he finally managed to toss him down. Bolton got right back up and gave him a big belly-to-belly suplex, followed by the Bolton shake. It was a little slow early, I will say. That was probably the big flaw of the match. They looked a little tired, which is understandable. It's a long tour. I mean, they're also selling, there's a lot of, selling of cumulative injuries on this show. Taichi did hit a big backdrop suplex that left both guys down. They traded lariats. Taichi hit a big axe bomber at the end. That was cool. Bolton got the short-range kamikaze. Taichi popped right up and no-sold it. Hit a super kick. And there was this really cool strike sequence towards the end where he did a spinning chop and then finally this big kick to the face right at the 10-minute call. But Bolton was able to escape the standing lariat. He got Taichi up onto his shoulders, and Taichi was doing the thing where he was trying to elbow his way out, so Bolton turned it into the F5 instead of the kamikaze, or the verdict as they call it on the air. He went for that kamikaze again. Taichi escaped it, almost cradled him for the pin, but then he tried for Black Mephisto, couldn't get it. Oleg hit this enormous powerbomb. Then he got Taichi up for the kamikaze and pinned him. Very good match by the end. I went 3 3/4. I don't understand their continued refusal to push Taichi. I understand he's old, okay? He's 45. But if...
Hey, they're pushing him. He's got the tag titles, buddy.
He's 45, okay? I get it. I'm not trying to say I don't get it from that perspective. But sometimes it's not a wrestler's fucking age that matters. He's never been pushed as a top guy. They've never even given him a white belt reign. Intercontinental Global.
How much older is he than Goto?
They're about the same age.
Well, they just gave Goto the world title, so I don't know why they
can't. Can't Taichi get anything?
Well, he got the tag titles. So it's always
I mean, this is fucking bullshit. He's one of the best workers in the company. He's fucking over as hell. They can't do anything with this guy? He has to go 3-6 in the fucking tournament.
Maybe if Naito was booking, he would have been pushed more.
He has to lose the same 2 people he lost to in the fucking qualifiers.
He's a fucking dork.
I mean,
I get it.
Understand
the story.
Look, I mean, they're pushing young people, I guess.
Well, ish.
They pushed Callum and Bolton. They're both young, I guess. But I don't know. I would rather have Taichi get pushed. So, fuck Gato. I'm really sick of his booking. I don't know why we have to have...
Oh, we're pushing young people. Well, then let's get to the next match. We're pushing young people.
Sonata.
So, Oe was a fucking dork and a geek and an idiot in this match. So, I guess that's the story.
Sonata beats Ryohei Oiwa in 10:26. He was already out, so he ends up at 4-5 for 8 points, and Oiwa also finishes at 4-5 for 8 points. This match fucking sucked.
More stupid bullshit.
This match fucking sucked. So Sonata's out for today. He just had a leather jacket. He had black tights and glasses to match it. Pretty subdued by his standards. Yeah, there was just a lot going on in this match. There was a long headlock from Oiwa in the ring. They end up on the floor. Sonata hit a backdrop suplex on the apron after they both went for it for a few times. He did give him a spinning neck breaker off the apron to the floor with Oiwa crashing pretty hard. I guess that looked cool. Then they go back in. Oiwa misses a splash off the top. Sanada tries a moonsault. Oiwa gets his knees up. The ref gets bumped. Sanada hits a low blow and he goes for the guitar. Oiwa ducks the guitar shot, gets a headlock on, so Sanada just casually kicks Marty Asami back down just as he was getting back up. That looked pretty stupid. He low blows Oiwa again. He takes the guitar, he throws it to Oiwa and takes a bump. Now, Marty Asami getting up and yelling at Oiwa, he didn't DQ him, I will say that. But it makes no fucking sense for the ref to be like, hey, did you hit him with a guitar? Guitar fucking breaks when you hit someone with it. So why the fuck would you think he hit him with this guitar? Is this like the strongest guitar of all time?
And why didn't Oiwa just throw it away? Like he did.
What
is this thing? What do I do with it? Should I play it? I don't like.
He did drop it though, I think.
No, he handed it to. He handed it to the ref.
Oh. Well,
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he handed it to the ref. What'd you do with this?
But this let Sanada bump the ref again, a third fucking time. He hit Oiwa with the guitar and he pinned him.
Yeah.
2 stars. This was pretty fucking bad.
It would have been better if it was a DQ, because then at least Oiwa wouldn't have...
But then the ref would have DQ'd him for not hitting with a guitar.
Then the ref would have been the one that looked stupid, not the wrestler. And I'd rather have the ref look like an idiot than the wrestler look like a dweeb.
Well, now everybody looks stupid, so...
Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this match sucked. I went 2 stars, which just really for like some...
The friggin' ref looked like an idiot anyway, so... everyone.
Alright, so next match, then we had... Yota Tsuji defeating Callum Newman in 11-17 with the 70 crosses. I thought he said 17 cross. 70 cross, it just says. I thought Walker said 17 crosses. 70 cross. It's like he puts him up on his shoulders and like, I guess kind of drops him. I don't even, well, what the fuck was that move?
I don't know. The match just ended and we were like, oh.
But that puts Tsuji at 5-4 for 10 points. So he also was alive now. Now Bolton was on Dream Streak because Tsuji has the tiebreaker on him. Callum's now 4 and 5 or 8 points, so Callum is out at this point. Callum, he like mockingly put Tsuji's hat on before the match, and then like kind of continued his recent heelish streak. He attacked Tsuji right at the bell. This match is just fucking weird though, because so Callum is selling his cumulative damage from the tournament, which he's been doing in the last few shows, but like he also took like most of the match. So like, which is it, buddy? Are you selling, or are you like in control? And the crowd. And the crowd kept waiting for something, for like anything to happen, and like Tsuji then just kind of won.
Yeah. In the end,
I don't know, 2.5. It was like very average. It wasn't like horrible, but like the crowd wasn't into it, and so the match was pretty boring.
It was completely dead.
Yeah, they did not care about this match, and they definitely didn't care about Callum Newman, unfortunately. And I think he's been pretty good in this tournament, especially better than last year. But this was not good. So yeah, there you go. I don't really have a lot to say about that one. Very average match, not very good. So that put us in a position where you were like noting this. So this is the only match I got spoiled on. Was I saw someone tweet that Evil won this, so I didn't have any sense of what's it called? Any sense of suspense. But you now need to root for Evil to get Tsuji into the top 3. Just such a weird position, because Evil, if Tana had won this, he would have been 5-4 for 10 points. And he would have had the tiebreak on Tsuji, and Tsuji would have been out.
Yeah.
So instead, Evil beat Tana in 12:50 with the Evil. So he goes to 6-3 for 12 points at the moment, taking the top of the block and eliminating Tanahashi. Look, this was just so slow. Mm-hmm. Tanahashi looked like you liked it better than I did.
It might be because it followed the other match, which was so boring and not just slow, but also dead quiet. The crowd actually wasn't.
The crowd was in this match.
Maybe, so that might have.
They usually are into Evil's matches, whether people like that or not.
Yeah.
They almost.
Well, also it was because they thought this, and it was. This could be Tanahashi's last G1 match.
They react to every Evil match practically. When's the last time Evil matches got?
And looking back, this was Tanahashi's last ever G1 match.
Well, that was the Heat.
And it was.
This
will always go down in history as the last G1 match he ever had. Okay, I don't understand the point of putting him in the G1 if he wasn't going to advance at all, but
to draw crowds, I guess, which it did sometimes. But Rudy Clement just hit a solo homer. Blue Jays are back on top. I care. I got that phone alert. But yeah, look, what I'm going to say is, I'm usually generous to Evil matches. Okay, the problem with this one is even though the crowd was into it, Tanahashi was moving so fucking slow. He looked like he could barely get down the ramp to start the match. He was moving even slower than he did in any of his other matches. And the other big problem I have with this is, like, the fucking conceit of Evil. Like, how many times are we going to do this for Evil? Where this is my least favorite Evil trope. Where he acts like he's not going to cheat, and then he just fucking cheats at the end.
Oh, they do that all the time.
Everyone knows Evil's going to cheat at the end. His name is King of Darkness Evil. The jig is up. I think we know he's going to cheat at the end. I don't know why we have to go through a 13-minute match just to have him cheat at the end. This is pretending he's going to fight clean to have him cheat at the end.
You think he's always going to cheat?
The crowd acts like, oh, he's giving him a clean break. Like, why do we have to act stupid? Like, this to me is stupider than a lot of the other House of Torture stuff. So that drives me crazy. I did not like this match. Of course he cheated at the end. Of course he fucking, the Fale and Togo came out and Evil threw powder into on his face and, you know, the whole charade. So 2 1/4 is what I went. I didn't think it was awful, but it was like a below average match. And, you know, it was very slow. And the fucking thing of, like, will Evil cheat or won't he? I think the jig is up. Mm. His name is not good. His name is Evil. Yeah, I think we got it. Main event. Thank God for this fucking match, which kind of saved the show after the last 3 matches. David Finlay defeated Yuya Uemura in 23-01 with the overkill. So if Yuya had won this, he would have had 12 points, and he would have had the tiebreaker over Evil. So he would have won the block, and he would have gotten the bye. Finlay winning means Yuya is out. So because we end up with a 4-way tie with 10 points, Finlay has wins over all 3 of them. He beat Yuya, Tsuji, and Bolton. So Finlay finishes second. Then Tsuji beat Yuya and Bolton. So Tsuji finishes third. And Yuya and Bolton don't make it. So that's how we end up with for the 10-point people. But yeah, this match was fucking awesome. I mean, this was like, they did a lot of great stuff in this match. A lot of great technical wrestling in this match, too, which has been Yuya's calling card in this entire tournament. So there was like a moment after first of all, there's a lot of cool stuff in this match. There was a spot where Finlay like put him up in a powerbomb position and like ran him into the ring post. That looked pretty cool. He picked Yuya up back in the ring, and tried to like powerbomb him over the top, but Yuya got a Rana off the last second and sent Finlay all the way to the floor. That looked awesome. He had a Tana-style high-fly attack cross-body to the floor. But like all the stuff with Yuya and the arm, where he just kept going with a cross arm breaker, and Finlay was selling it really well, and I don't know what the fuck noises TV is making. Oh, okay. This app will now restart to free up more memory. I'm just going to turn you off, Hotel Television. Why do you have apps? Anyway, Yuya, he's going for this cross arm breaker. Finlay is rolling away to break. Yuya is like, he at one point hit a German suplex hold and like went for a dragon suplex, but Finlay like countered straight into a backbreaker. That looked really good too. Like when Yuya controlling the waist, to keep control of Finlay. He blocks. So Finlay goes for overkill. Yuya blocks it. He grabs the leg and hits 2 straight dragon screws. Then he goes back to the arm. He tries to get the arm breaker back on. Yuya, he keeps pulling Finlay away from the ropes. He keeps getting the arm breaker back on. Finlay manages to briefly turn into a roll up, but Yuya manages to kick out of that while still having control of the arm, which was great. So he keeps control of the arm. He keeps it in the armbar. He transitions it over to a Fujiwara armbar. So he's like pulling back on the arm even harder. Gato was like screaming at Finlay from the outside not to give up. And Finlay's doing some great selling. Yuya turns it again into like this very like Zack Sabre Jr.-esque arm submission where he's like pulling back on both arms. There's probably a technical term for it. I don't remember what it is. But Finlay finally makes it to the ropes at the end of a great sequence. Really, really good stuff. Yuya, he takes a long time trying to lift Finlay up into this double underhook suplex. Finlay keeps trying to fight it off. He finally gets it. That was right around the 20-minute call. But Finlay blocks the deadbolt. He hits 2 straight power bombs. That gets a 2 count. Finlay hits into Oblivion. Yuya kicks out again. He goes for overkill. Yuya counters it with an inside cradle, which is a very good counter there. He hits a dragon suplex for a 2 count. Hits high fly flow for another 2 count. But then Finlay blocks the deadbolt again just by biting him, which I kind of like that as like a really raw counter.
That was nice.
And then Finlay headbutts his way out of another deadbolt attempt, and then he hits 2 straight overkills for the pin. Yeah, fucking awesome match. 4.5 stars.
Best match of the show.
Definitely best match of the show. I put it as like my 3rd favorite match of the G1 so far.
This show fucking needed it.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if they went out there and had like a fucking 3-star match? Like, this would have been like one of the worst.
One of the worst.
Yeah. As it was, this was still not a great show or anything because of the 3 matches in the middle, but like, it started well and it ended well. So at least you got that. Anyway, so I'll give the full standings. I kind of did this already, but Evil 12 points, first place. Finley, Tsuji, Yuya, Bolton all tied at 10 points, and Finley and Tsuji are the ones who move on. Oiwa, Callum, and Tanahashi all had 8, and Sonata all had 8 points, and then Taichi fucking finishes in the last with 6 points because fuck you, Gato. Yeah, so now we know what we're getting for the playoffs, which is, or we know half the bracket, I mean. So on Thursday at Korakuen, it's Finley against whoever finishes third in B block, and it's Tsuji against whoever finishes second in B block. The winner of the Finley match faces the B block first place person on Friday in or is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday. Saturday in the Ariake for the semifinal, and whoever wins Tsuji versus the other B block guy faces Evil. I mean, so Tsuji could win that and then get his revenge on Evil because remember Evil beat him.
Yeah.
So that might be where they're going with that, or it could be whoever fucking finishes second in B block, I guess. But we'll have to see. But yeah, so that's what's coming up. The B block final is on Wednesday from Hamamatsu. B block is a little simpler to see what's going on than this mess we had in A block because we know it's going to be. I mean, pretty much we know Zach is going through for sure because he already has 12 points, and only 2 other people can get to 12. There's Narita and Takeshi that both have 10. They're facing each other in the main event.
Okay.
So Zach will probably just beat Yoshihashi, though. Then he'll finish for 14 points and win the block. So yeah, Shingo Takagi versus Joel Maloney. That match just probably doesn't matter. There's like really weird tiebreak scenarios where it could matter, but it probably won't. Because they both have 8 points. Yoshihashi versus Zach. Zach probably wins to just win the block. Shota versus Great Okan. Shota winning would put him at 12. And he would be guaranteed to move on then, because again, only one of Takeshi and Narita could move on. So it's probably what will happen. Especially since, remember, Great Okan beat him back in February, like when he shaved his head anyway. So he'll get his revenge on Great Okan, and he'll get to 12. And then either Takeshita or Narita will win the main, probably Takeshita, and they'll be at 12. So it's probably going to be Zach, Shota, and Takeshita moving on.
And that's what I'm guessing.
That's what I would think would happen. All right, folks. So we're at the end of this long Frankenstein episode that I stitched together all week while I was on the road here again. Thank you for bearing with me for that. People said they liked last week's where we did the like vlog, I don't know, the live vlog or podcast, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, one more of those. But next week we'll be back to a normal episode. So next week I will have back on Aramutha. He'll be coming on with me again to talk about the entire rest of the G1. So that's night 16, night 17, night 18 in the finals. Then we'll do like a full tournament wrap-up where I'll just tell you all my thoughts on every wrestler and how the tournament went. Then we'll also have the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix Day 9, which is tomorrow, Monday the 11th, Day 10, and Day 11. And that takes you to the rest of the Stardom blocks, so we can also preview the Stardom playoffs. That will be the following week. So yeah, there'll be more G1 and more 5-star Grand Prix next week. That's what we'll be doing as we continue to get to the end of tournament season here. Anything you want to say or plug or anything before we get out of here? You know what? Oh, you know what I want to talk about? We didn't mention
what?
The fucking match of Forbidden Door. They're booking the 4-way.
Oh, the 4-way.
The 4-way TV. The 4-way Ring of Honor TV title #1 contender match. I tweeted about this, and I had fucking people getting pissed at me for pointing out that it makes no fucking sense that a guy who hasn't won a match since December 2011, Nigel McGuinness, a guy who's won one match since March against the fucking Max Caster, Daniel Garcia, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion who's appeared on AEW TV twice in the last 5 months, both losses, and I guess Hechisero's fine, but the other 3 are pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, these are top contenders for the IWGP World Heavyweight title.
I think it would have been better if
Nigel should just challenge him. That's what they want to do.
Or maybe Zach could have made a video challenging Nigel. And if they want to give Nigel a win, just have Nigel come on a show and beat one of the guys.
Yeah.
Well, probably not Hedges.
I
think Hedges is not losing the fall in that match. Just one of the other 2.
Yeah.
Who's losing the fall? Fucking probably Daniel Garcia or Lee Moriarty. Like, Have him beat one of them, and then or some other. Have him beat Max Caster. I don't fucking know. Actually, Max Caster comes out, makes a challenge. Nigel comes out, beats the fuck out of him, and then says, "Okay, I'm also out here to challenge Zack Sabre Forbidden Door." That would have been so much better than this, but I mean,
it's fucking stupid.
For all he knows, Nigel isn't winning and fucking.
But why would they put him in the match if he wasn't winning?
I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. But.
So anyway, it's fucking stupid.
Then why
it's
are they
horrible.
doing it? The way they're doing it is just so fucking
weird.
So even weird for them.
So let me say this. I can come on here and bitch about Gato's booking. There's lots of there's many recordings of me doing so. I bitch about it on Twitter all the time too, especially when Taichi gets fucking buried. Nobody says anything. If I say one fucking negative thing about AEW, I suddenly have a swarm of fucking AEW fans in my mentions because they're the most oversensitive little babies that can't take any fucking critique at all.
This could have been done better. Guys.
There was one guy who apparently listens to my podcast who said, like, it's 2025, just so you know. And I was like, okay, that's nice. I don't even know what that means either. I guess that I shouldn't be complaining about AEW in 2025. I don't know.
I'm sure that had anything to do with AEW.
No, he quote tweeted it. He quote tweeted the tweet and said it's 2025, so it's clearly about that.
But what were you were tweeting about
the AEW thing.
The four-way Pacific.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like telling him,
what does the year have to do with it?
I have no idea.
That wasn't a bomb or something.
No, it wasn't. Because then I told him.
What the fuck does the year have to do with that? I don't understand.
So I told him, like, I don't
understand what
thanks
you're
for telling
saying.
me the year. And he's like, well, I do really like your podcast, by the way. And I was like, well, sarcastically getting in my mentions to tell me what year it is a great way to show your appreciation.
But what does the year have to do with? I don't understand.
Buddy, I blocked the guy, so you're not. You want to go find him? You can ask him.
I'm trying to think. What were the words he had used? About
he said.
What did you say?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck the year 2025
We gotta go deep on this. I said doing a random four-way match featuring mid-carders, an ROH guy, and a mostly retired announcer to determine an IWGP World Title challenger is the kind of thing I would make up as a joke about how bad of a partner AEW is, but apparently it's real. And he quote tweeted that. He quote tweeted that and said it's 2025.
Oh, good.
I don't get it either. What am I supposed to take out of this information?
He was like complaining about the fact that you blocked him.
He was complaining that I blocked him?
I saw it, yeah.
Okay. Well.
He was like, oh, he blocked me. Everybody's so sensitive nowadays. And, people, I'm just like, nobody's required to engage with you if you want to be snarky to people online.
You can at least be snarky in a way that I can understand.
Although, yeah, I didn't really understand his...
I don't understand
I don't understand what he was saying.
I thought maybe that was just something above my head, but I was just like, I don't even understand this reaction.
I guess, is he trying to say in 2025 we're not supposed to think about wrestling anymore? We're supposed to just watch it as zombies and not like...
maybe that might be the point. I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely what people are doing with WWE. Like, they don't use logic with anything, and now it's a lot of situations AEW is doing it too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, New Japan does it too. All companies do it sometimes, but you're allowed to think. You're allowed to say that's stupid.
Again, I say if New Japan does something stupid, I say it's stupid. If AEW does something stupid, I'm allowed to say it's stupid too.
There were a lot easier ways,
especially when it's directly related to New Japan, which is the promotion I watch.
It's not like they were handcuffed into making a match. Like, if they want to have Nigel get a win to look strong and have Nigel be in the title match, there are ways to accomplish both these things without booking a random four-way out of the blue that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, they could have had, like I said, Zach or Nigel make the challenge, and then you can give Nigel a win on television after the challenge and say, make him look strong. And then, there you go. Not just, act like, I took these names out of a hat, and here's the match, and, like...
and by the way, if these people, I guess, it's a good thing they don't read Japanese, because pretty much every Japanese fan tweet I've seen about it... What?
You're not still recording.
I am still recording.
Yeah. Oh.
Pretty much every Japanese fan tweet I've seen about it... You're on the recording, who cares? Pretty much every Japanese fan tweet I've seen about it is about how...
it makes no sense.
It's about how it makes no sense, how they're not taking the IWGP World Title seriously enough. Every single tweet is like that. And, yeah, I don't really get it, and I don't like, apparently people are not allowed to complain about Tony Khan.
Also, I mean, even in the end, did the title have to be on the line? Didn't Nigel face Brian Danielson?
In a non-title match.
In a non-title.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna remember to say.
Same Brian Danielson.
I said Daniel Bryan for like how many fucking years, so that's why it's hard to go back. But it was non-title, right? At the show we went to. It didn't have to be.
It could have been non-title.
And then.
But look, beating competition, the level of Daniel Garcia and Lee Moriarty, people who can't beat anybody.
Which one is the champion in Ring of Honor?
Lee Moriarty apparently. He's the Ring of Honor Pure
Didn't
Champ.
he just come back? When did he win the title? Like on the ROH shows?
I guess.
Like he disappeared for.
He hasn't been on AEW TV.
I
looked it. I
looked it up. One day he just was there.
He's had 2 appearances in 5 months. One of them was on a pay-per-view pre-show, and they were both losses. So that apparently makes you worthy of challenging for the IWGP.
And then the other, I mean, Daniel Garcia.
It's like, this is not the fucking... If that 4-way was booked for the fucking never title shot, okay. This is the fucking IWGP World Heavyweight title. Like, it's supposed to be treated a little bit more respect than that, but, you know. AEW's a bad partner. They do bad... They're putting on a stupid show that has no fucking...
It has... Kyle Fletcher's going to face somebody.
And Kyle Fletcher's going to face Tanahashi.
And 2 random people. I'm not even sure it's going to be Tanahashi.
Well, they said Tana's going to be in a match already.
No, they don't have a full card.
They have like 8 matches already. I think it's like 8, isn't it?
I'll look. Maybe it is.
I don't know. Who cares?
But Tanahashi
Who cares?
Fletcher makes no sense.
Say. Who cares?
Why the fuck Tanahashi?
I don't know. Tanahashi liked him?
Wasn't there someone... I could have sworn Tana already came out. Oh, no. Was it with the fucking... Did he come out and, like, make an angry face with the Don Callis family? Is that what he did at the last 2 pay-per-views ago?
I
remember Tana walked out.
Oh, yeah.
Was it the Don Callis family?
It was the Don Callis family, so I guess it would be Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, you're right.
They probably knew that back then, not that they...
I guess it will be Tanahashi, okay.
And, like, nobody... Who else in New Japan's going to be on the show? Probably nobody.
They might be in some pre-show matches.
Yeah.
Can we finally get Hiromu on one of these? Hasn't he?
He's a no right now.
Forbidden Door.
He was
supposed to be on one, but he had COVID.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the first one. Well, he was in the pre-show of one.
Okay. I mean, I bet there's going to be a lot of New Japan guys in like random tag matches on the pre-show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have fun.
All right, folks. We can wrap this up now. Thank you as always for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at Wrestle Omakase, Wrestling Would Not Fit. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Just One MB. Like I said, next week, me and Armutha to wrap up the G1 and also go through the 5-star. And that's it, folks. Talk to you again after a while.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the co-hosts of Jumping Bomb Audio, the #1 show all about the world of Joshi Pro Wrestling. Every other Monday, we're coming at you with news, show reviews, and previews of upcoming Joshi action.
So whether you're just getting into the scene or you've seen it all, this is the show for you.
Check us out on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network and wherever you get your audio.
Hello, Voices of Wrestling listener. Dave Ryan here. Have you ever wondered to yourself, how many hidden gems are hidden away inside the last years of World Championship Wrestling? Have you ever asked yourself how many tenuous gags can be made about the name Mike Enos? And have you ever thought about what it sounds like for 2 Irishmen to interpret a very chaotic company through its B show? The answers to all this and more are just a click away. Check out Days of Thunder every second Thursday on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
Looking to get the most out of your money, time, and even better, your points and miles? I'm Chris Hutchins. I'm a lifelong optimizer, and I've sold 2 companies, racked up millions of points, and traveled the world to over 60 countries almost always for free. And I host All the Hacks, an award-winning podcast trusted by more than 1 million listeners that turns big ideas into quick tactical moves you can start using today to upgrade your life, money, and travel. Recent episodes have covered how to book business class seats for economy prices, how to make an easy $3,000 a month from online deals, and tiny habits that you can use to buy back hours of your time each week. There's no fluff in the show. It's just proven playbooks to travel better, spend smarter, and design a life you're excited about. So search All the Hacks, that's All the Hacks, in your podcast app, hit follow, and start upgrading your life today.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.